They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic declared himself ready for tonight's pivotal Game 5 of the first-round NBA playoff series against the Clippers, but also admitted his sprained right knee is not good. LA forward Kawhi Leonard's out with knee inflammation. Game 5, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Series is 2-2. Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis sidelined for the potential clincher Game 5 against the Heat tonight, expected to miss at least several games due to a calf injury, a cause for concern for a Boston team with championship aspirations. First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
When I think about Porzingis being 7'3", being a shot blocker, being able to be that guy that offsets the usage of Al Horford to some degree, he's incredibly pivotal because remember, as long as he's out, you're asking Al Horford to do more. Him and Luke Cornett, okay? And that's not something that the Boston Celtics want to do, which means everyone will have to elevate their game, but they're not considered to be the deepest team in the league.
Source told ESPN majority control of the Dolphins not for sale after USA Today reported owner Stephen Ross turned down a $10 billion offer for control of the team, F1 Miami Grand Prix, and Hard Rock Stadium.
As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You suck. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's hump day. Hey.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, Muse.
Hump day.
Yo.
Doesn't feel like hump day.
It's hump day.
Oh, no, it feels like hump day to me.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
That's weird.
Hump day.
Kind of feels like a Monday to me.
It's hump day.
Wonder why that is.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
That's because you haven't been here all week.
Hump day.
And I'm out Friday, too.
It's hump day.
Yeah. Why didn't you just take the whole week?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The people need some scum.
Hump day.
You need scum. We got stuff to do today.
It's hump day.
Kyle Hergel's here in 90 minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Scone, who's that?
Scone, who's that?
That's the undrafted free agent interior offensive lineman from Boston College, and I'm fired up to talk to this guy.
Hump day.
He looks like he's got serious edge.
It's hump day.
Taylor Calandro next later this hour.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Mincy in studio next hour.
Hump day.
Okay, we got a lot to do. Let's get going. Glad you're aboard with us. Ton to do. We begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Okay, I always say it. I will hold myself accountable. You know that. Draft ended on Saturday. I was not here Monday, Tuesday. So let us begin with the thing that I shouted from the rooftops for weeks about this draft with respect to the New Orleans Saints. And I was, kind of dead wrong, but kind of 50% wrong. We'll let you decide. Give a listen. Chance that happened. If it were possible, I would bet everything I own that the Saints don't wait from pick 45 until round 5 to make another selection. We all know it's going to happen. There is zero. I don't like to speak in absolutes because everything I say is recorded. But there is a zero, clip it, Paul, a 0% chance that the Saints sit from pick 45 into round 5 and make 4 fifth-round picks. A 0% chance that happened. Well, they didn't, Muse. They didn't sit from pick 45 to round 5. They didn't do it.
They sat from pick 41.
Bingo!
To round. They waited longer.
I told you they weren't sitting there from pick 45 until round 5. I was right. They did not sit from pick 45 to round 5.
That's not how this works. They sat longer.
Nailed it.
They sat longer.
What's your point? I said they're not sitting there. But the other, what was the back part of that, Muse? What was the other thing I said? At the very end.
Oh, they're not going to make 4 fifth-round picks.
Did they make 4 fifth-round picks?
They didn't. That one I will give you.
That's the point.
That one I will give you.
They traded up. I did think that. So, yes, I certainly thought the Saints would make the pick at 45 and then move into round 3 or 4. There was never a chance they were going to make 4 fifth-round picks. They were always going to move, but they moved up from 45 to 41. So on a broad technicality, Muse, they didn't wait from pick 45 to round 5. They did move. They just moved up in round 2, which I would not have expected. So on a technicality, like letter of the law, you know what I mean? Letter of the law, they didn't sit from pick 45 to round 5, but we all know what I meant. And I'm curious with how the Saints draft played out. So I'll wear that. I will wear that. But I got the part about not making 4 fifth-round picks right. I just thought they would make the pick at 45 and then move up in round 3 or 4, not move up in round 2. But I want to give just a quick thought because I want to be on the record. And I understand it's Wednesday by now. The draft wrapped up on Saturday. Everybody's talked about this, dissected it. But I want to be on the record with how I feel about this. In doing this job long enough, the thing that I've learned is that we never really know about the draft. As much as we think we do and we give out grades and we like the draft and all that sort of stuff, whether you love it or hate it, we're never really going to know until 3, 4, 5 years down the line. That's why you see all the people regrade drafts and all that sort of stuff. I mean, I went back this week and looked at a grade on the Saints 2017 draft, which is the best draft ever, and they got a C-. They completely panned the Alvin Kamara pick. But remember, like they had Mark Ingram, they had just signed Adrian Peterson in free agency, and then they move up in round 3 to take a running back. Everybody's going, what the hell are you doing? Well, all Alvin Kamara did was going to be rookie of the year and set the Saints franchise record for touchdowns. So we don't really know. So I kind of look at it this way. I say 2 things. Number 1, did you address needs that you had going into the draft? And number 2, do you feel like you got picks at value? And so the needs part, we all knew going into this draft, the biggest need the Saints had was on the offensive line. They took Taliesin Fuanga in round 1. They ended up taking another offensive lineman in round 7. So you got not only a day 1 starter, but you got a project player as well, which is kind of exciting. We also said they had to get receiver. I thought they'd go receiver in round 2, but if you were watching the draft, the run on receivers came at the end of round 1 and the beginning of round 2. You know, where you saw Ricky Pearsall go at the end of round 1, and then you saw Keon Coleman go with the first pick of round 2, and then Ladd McConkey. So the run on receivers came, and so the only other receiver that was taken in round 2 was A.D. Mitchell at the end of the round. So I don't know that at 45 there was someone there at that position the Saints wanted, but they saw great value in Kool-Aid McKinstry, so they went and got him, which I love, because that gives you so many options next year. And I kind of look at the Kool-Aid McKinstry pick in the same lens as I did the Ramchick pick back in 2017, because I know we've mentioned it before, but if you look at 2017, the Saints had Teron Armstead at left tackle. They had Zach Strief at right tackle. They did not need a tackle. They got that pick because they traded Brandon Cooks to New England for their first-round pick, which was number 32 overall. And they took Ramczyk because they were like, we think this is the best right tackle in the draft class. He's sitting there at 32. We're taking him. And lo and behold, Strief tears his ACL. His career's over. Ramczyk starts until now it appears his career might be over. So I guess I look at the McKinstry pick and I say, okay, well, Lattimore's time in New Orleans, like his contract post-June 1, if they move him post-June 1 this year, it becomes much more palatable. It's about $10 million against the cap. So they could move him post-June 1 this year. If not, they could off-ramp off the deal next year, and they also have to make a decision if they're going to extend Paulson Adebo. If nothing else, you keep one of those guys, get rid of the other, and you've got McKinstry ready to start. So there's a lot of that I like. I think you got great value in the Spencer Rattler pick and in the Ford pick. You know, I happened to be listening to our coverage, you know, the ESPN radio national coverage, when the Saints took Ford, the linebacker out of Texas, and it was one of the ESPN draft analysts. It was Jordan Reed, is who it was, and he said the way that he would describe Jalen Ford is consistently inconsistent. Like if you put on the Oklahoma tape from this past year, you'd cringe. But there's so many moments where he was great. Well, look at where you are at linebacker. Demario Davis is getting old. Pete Werner, when he's healthy, he's been really good. You're going to have to make a long-term contract decision about him. You signed Willie Gay to a one-year deal. So you are going to need depth and a potential starter at linebacker, and maybe Jalen Ford can be that, and you got him in round 5. So I think they did take great value. Look, we talked about Christian Boyd, the defensive lineman out of Northern Iowa. He took one of the top 30 visits to New Orleans. He's one of those guys who was teammates with Trevor Penning. The Saints did their homework on him. He is like, you needed interior defensive line. Well, you got interior defensive line with Christian Boyd, a big 6'2", 320-pound run stuffer. You're bad against the run, stick a big 6'2", 320-pounder in the middle of your defense and get better against the run. You did take a receiver in Bub Means. Means is a guy who played 5 years of college football. So as I kind of look through the whole entirety of the draft, did they address their needs? Yeah. They got a couple offensive linemen. They got a receiver. They got an interior lineman. They even got linebacker. They got a really good cornerback who could be a starter. Do you think you got value? I think they got great value in this draft. So I like what they did. And I love the fact that they took Spencer Rattler. We've talked about it before that, look, in your 57-year history, you've used one first-round pick ever on a quarterback. You've never taken a quarterback in round 2, and you've only used one third-round pick on a quarterback. That was Garrett Grayson. Of course, the first rounder was Archie Manning. That's it. In the top 3 rounds in your 57-year history, you've taken 2 quarterbacks. So if what you're doing isn't working, do something different. And my thing has been play the numbers game. Draft a quarterback every year until you hit. And to get Spencer Rattler in round 5, okay, I'm down with that flyer on Spencer Rattler, who could have tremendous upside. I think they did well. Look, we're not going to know for sure until 2, 3, 4 years down the line how this is all going to play out. But did you address needs and did you get value? Yes. Are there players? Look, we could sit here and say, hey, man, I wish they had gotten Brendan Rice from USC, Jerry Rice's son at receiver. Okay. I wish they got Malik Washington, the receiver out of Virginia. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of convos we can have about players you would have liked them to take in certain spots, and I may not necessarily even disagree with you. But we can't look at it in those terms. We look at it in terms of what they did, who they got in that position, and did it make sense? And I think the Saints did. So I commend them. I think they did a great job in the draft, and we'll see once they hit the practice field in rookie minicamp and training camp to start moving toward the 2024 season. Okay, it's After Further Review. Show open brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy in Louisiana with the great taste of Bud Light. Sunday before I went up to New York, I was over at Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. Great fundraiser for the Special Forces Trust, charitable trust, which provides amazing resources to the men and women who put their lives on the line for us every single day. Of course, our friends at Mockler were the title sponsor of Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. So had some great Bud Light, great fellowship, cigar, and a good time. Remember, no matter where you go around town, you're going to see events. You're always going to see our friends from Mockler and Bud Light. So drink easy with the Tigers. Drink easy with the champs, the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Pluckers. We'll knock out our first break of the show, come back. The portal is closed now. The transfer portal is closed. So let's take a little bit of an assessment of where LSU is, who's in the portal, what needs they still have. Of course, there's a big-time transfer on campus right now that we're going to talk about as we move through this as well. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, y'all, the spring is here. The school year is coming to an end. This is when the real estate market really starts to heat up. And it makes sense, right? Kids are out of school. If you're being relocated for a job, this is generally when you want to move. And you know every day the market is going to get busier and busier, and it's going to get more and more saturated. So make sure your home is listed now, listed first, and listed by the best, Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Hey, I always encourage you to go follow Darren on social media because his social media really is a resource for you as a buyer or a seller. Like, for example, he's got, examples of different kitchens and on his social media right now about how to present your kitchen when you're staging to sell your home. It's Darren James. He's just the best. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tula at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Was scrolling Twitter last night, popped up a video from Dominic Williams, who's the #1 defensive tackle transfer in the portal right now. 2 years at TCU, started every game on the team that played for the national championship 2 years ago. Again, the #1 defensive tackle transfer in the portal, and he's visiting Baton Rouge. He's at LSU right now. Well, He posted a video last night of what I will understand to be, of course, their recruiting visit dinner. And they are where you would expect them to be. They're at Supper Club. I'm telling y'all, man, you want to party? You want to show somebody a good time? Where else are you going to go, man? They got the illuminated signs. Welcome to Baton Rouge. Dominic, his whole crew's there. You actually can see Bo Davis right there in the bottom of the video. That's his bald head as they scan the camera over there. But I'm telling you, man, whether you're celebrating having a recruit come in, graduation is coming up, so you can get your reservations for graduation. I was talking to Chef earlier today. They just got a new cow in from Sagrera Farms today. I've told you all about that before. Sagrera Farms is in Ethel. They give their cows the absolute best life. Well, they buy the whole animal and then they butcher it they butcher it in-house. So it's slaughtered and aged on site, and then they butcher it in-house there at Supper Club. So y'all, look, I mean, you want to go get an absolutely fresh cut of meat? Get on by Supper Club today. Remember, reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. But there is open seating at the bar. So you knock off of work, you want to go into Supper Club, pop on in. You can sit at the bar, close some business, meet a client, have a cocktail, have a great steak. Do what Dominic Williams did, man. Your LSU, you're bringing the number. If you're bringing the number one defensive tackle recruit in the country to Supper Club, where else should we go? Supper Club. Reservations at supperclubbtr.com. Supperclubbtr.com. I do love this, by the way. So Dominic Williams is in town right now, and the post accompanying the video is, this is how LSU's coming, with like shocked face emojis and hashtag Go Tigers on there as well. So it's Dominic Williams. It's his whole crew. They're at Supper Club. Bo Davis is there. And LSU is rolling out the red carpet for the number one defensive tackle prospect in the transfer portal. As we all know, this is LSU's single biggest remaining need. Brian Kelly has said it over and over again, said it after the spring game. The one position they're really going to be targeting in the portal is defensive tackle. So just a reminder of how this works for those that don't remember. I think we probably all know by now, but just as a refresher, if the deadline to enter the portal, that portal window is closed. Once you're in the portal, you can commit to your school anytime you want. Now, in order to be eligible, you have to enroll in the school in time for the semester in the fall. But right now, you're obviously just continuing to target players at positions of need that you may want to add right now. And as we look at the numbers, just a very quick refresher, in this portal window, in the spring portal window, LSU has had 9 players hit the portal. It started with Jackson Howard, the defensive end. He's committed to Minnesota in his home state. Kai Preon is committed to Tulane. Connor Gilbreth, Ryan Robinson, Jeremiah Hughes, all uncommitted. Ryan Yates is going to Cal. Christian Braithwaite, Joe Cryer, John Emery, all uncommitted. So in total, for this entire year, since the end of the season, 26 players from last year's roster have hit the transfer portal, 9 here in the spring window. Now, when you look at the incoming transfers for LSU, that's where I think we can look at what LSU has done for this roster and what they still need to do. I'll just run through very quickly as a refresher of who they brought in, because they've added 7 transfers already. And remember, at best count, they're somewhere in the low 80s, 82, 83 scholarship players. So they could add 2 or 3 more scholarship players without any more attrition. Gio Paez, the defensive lineman from Wisconsin, is already signed. C.J. Daniels, the receiver from Liberty, who went through spring ball. Same with Austin Osbury, Xavion Thomas, Jair Brown, Jordan Gilbert, and A.J. Swan. So those are your 7 incoming transfers in this spring portal window as well for LSU. Or, I'm sorry, coming in for this season. And we'll see the one they've added here in the spring, obviously, is Gio Paez, who was not here for spring practice, but will be here over the summer. And now they've got to add more. When we look at the positions of need, number one, notably, of course, is defensive tackle. You got Dominic Williams on campus right now. Last week, Simeon Barrow from Michigan State was on campus. You have to feel like if you can just split with those 2 guys, if you get one of those guys on your roster, it dramatically improves your your probability defensively. Brian Kelly, find that for me, Muse. Brian Kelly talking about Jacoby and Guillory, because it was after the spring game, and Brian Kelly was pretty direct when he was talking about the defensive line. He said that they feel like Jacoby and Guillory is a starter. They need to find the other guy, is kind of how he put it. So if you're looking at your interior defensive line and you know you got one, now you're saying, okay, who's my other guy I could put next to him, and then I can develop rotation behind him. Like the best LSU defensive lines, like the one that always pops into my mind was 2011. In 2011, across that defensive front, rotated 11 different players. I mean, they had like all-American talent up front. I mean, obviously Michael Brockers was a stud and became a first-round pick, and you had Benny Logan in the mix as well. You had some veteran guys, and even the freaks with Montgomery and Mingo on the ends. But remember, you had guys like LeVar Edwards and Chauncey Aguirre. So you were so deep that you developed a rotation where you were always fresh. Do you have that cut? This was BK on the defensive line coming out of spring.
In terms of stopping the run, Jacoby and Guillory has been outstanding. I mean, he's singularly been, I think, in terms of what Bo Davis is looking for, he's been outstanding, and he's been a stalwart. We got to find the other guy, and that's what we're looking for. We're trying to develop that second guy, and then we'll have some depth guys behind him.
We got to find the other guy. So if Dominic Williams or Simeon Barrow are the other guy, now you feel like you roll out there, you're starting two. And then you've got Gio Paez, who's a sixth-year guy. And you've got Jalen Lee, who's a fifth-year guy. And you've got Dominic McKinley, five-star, number one defensive tackle in the country coming in. And now all of a sudden you look and you say, okay, we've got a rotation. And we'll see what happens with Kimo Makanaiole if he stays on the defensive side, if he moves back to offense. I don't know. But the point being, it's what BK said. We need to find our other guy. You need to find another starter because you feel like you've got a lot of depth pieces that can rotate. But you got to have the guy that can go play 60, 65% of your defensive snaps in a given game. And when you need to give that guy a breather to get to get a rotation, you have a competent rotation behind him. What you don't want to end up doing is what's happened to LSU in years past. The one that comes to my mind so prominently was that 2013 season. And 2013 was the year where Mettenberger threw for a bajillion yards. He threw for 3,000 yards. It was the first SEC team ever to have a 3,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard rusher, and 2,000-yard receivers. Of course, it was Jeremy Hill, Odell, and Jarvis. Well, that offense was amazing, but the defense was so suspect, and in part it was because you were waiting for Kendall Beckwith to develop an inside backer, but your two starters on the interior defensive line were Christian Lockacher was a sophomore, was a true sophomore, and was your best interior defensive lineman. And then, you had your other interior defensive lineman, I'm blanking on his name, got drafted by the Dolphins from Plaquemine.
Gottschall.
Devon Gottschall, thank you. So you had true freshman Gottschall, so I totally blanked there. You had two freshmen Gottschall, and you had true sophomore Lockacher that were your starting interior defensive linemen. So that, I'm sorry, that was in 14. I said 13. That was in 14 because that was after Freak Johnson, when Inigo Ferguson went pro. But the point is, you got in such a bad spot because you hadn't built your depth and you didn't have your two guys up front. Start with your two guys and build the depth behind them, and that's what they're looking to do here in 2024. Oddly, 10 years after that last year. A guy like Williams would be a huge part of that, I think, as we all understand. Okay, it's after further review. Little portal recap there as the portal windows close. One other quick reminder, though, is grad transfers can enter the portal whenever. So if there's someone on the team that is a graduate that ultimately decides they want to leave on this team or any team, they can jump into the portal whenever. That they're not beholden to those rules. I remember that happened in 2018 with several. LSU had Justin McMillan who jumped in the portal in the middle of fall camp, ended up at Tulane and played that season at Tulane. So if you're a grad transfer, those rules don't apply. You can jump in at any time. But LSU has a few roster spots to play with. We'll see what else they may add. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Optimize. Was actually chatting with Matthew Newman over at Optimize just yesterday. And I got to say sincerely thank you to all of you who have taken my advice and you've called Optimize, you've gone to the website. Website's really easy. It's just generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com. If you want to install a Generac automatic home standby generator, call Optimize. They're Louisiana's #1 Generac dealer. That's not me guessing it. It's not me saying it. You can walk into their office and see the trophy case full of the hardware that they have as Louisiana's #1 Generac dealer. And I say it all the time. I mean, yes, the customer service is amazing. They do turnkey installation. They offer financing. The thing, though, it'll match any budget because of their financing options. But the thing that sets Optimize apart from everybody else that does generators, and there's a lot of people that do generators, is automatic home standby generators are the only thing they do at Optimize. They're not an electrical company that does a dozen different things, and one of them is generators. The only thing they do is sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators. So if you're thinking about a generator with storm season around the bend, and we've all seen the projections for storm season, make sure you get a quote from our friends at Optimize. Go to generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com. I should mention they have 4 physical locations across the whole 10-12 corridor. So from Lake Charles to Slidell, every point in between, there's a physical location. Like the newest one it's in New Orleans, like right off the Loyola exit on the way to the airport. The one in Baton Rouge is in North Baton Rouge. They got 4 across the whole 10-12 corridor. So no matter where you are, Lake Charles to Slidell, they'll come to you. Generatorpeople.com, generatorpeople.com. Okay. Quick break. LSU blasted Grambling last night at the box, 26-2. What did we learn, if anything? Taylor Calandro of Bourbon Dictionary in 15 minutes. Mintzy's in studio with us 30 minutes from right now. Kyle Hergel, Saints undrafted free agent offensive lineman out of Boston College. He's here 1 hour from this very moment. We got a ton to do. Good to be back. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Hey, look, it is too late. It is too late to enter for Gordon's grads. That ended yesterday. So good luck to all of you who did enter, and wish you well. So this is actually a good time to tell you about another recent graduate, Dominic McKinley, the newest member of the G Team. Of course, if you want to learn about the G Team and all the athletes that Gordon has partnered with, you can go to Get Gordon on any of the social media platforms. Go to getgordon.com or gordongives.com. You can learn more about all that. If you remember a few weeks back, we actually talked about the Girls on the Run fundraiser that's coming up. Well, it's coming up this weekend. The 5K is this Saturday. So if you're still interested in running that and learning more about Girls on the Run, which is a great organization, and Gordon's been pleased to partner with them with so many of the female NIL deals that he's done, you can learn more at getgordon.com or go to any of the social media at GetGordon. GetGordon.com, GetGordon.com. You've been injured, you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
While you're busy with spring cleaning, we'd like to add to the clutter in your bank account to the tune of $2,000. It's the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Spring Cha-ching. Powered by Citizens Bank and Trust. Register today at 1045ESPN.com.
It's very kind of you, Muse.
I'm sorry, what?
It's very kind of you.
What is?
Well, to give up $2,000 from your paycheck
That is
to
not
pay for the
coming
spring
from my
cha-ching.
paycheck, pal. Nope.
Oh, you didn't get that memo?
No, I didn't get that memo.
Yeah, the people, Paul, you got that memo, didn't you? The people who read the promo, they're the one that pays the spring cha-ching.
Yeah, I got that one.
All right, well, then we'll let Alondra, she reads them. We'll let Beck, he reads them.
Well, they can do whatever they want.
No, it's going to come out. They read the promo.
On this show. I'm the program
you didn't say that.
I'm the program director. So that's how it works.
We're going to have a talk about that.
We just had the talk.
No.
I told you how it is, and that's that. So very generous. Muse has given up $2,000 from his paycheck for someone for the spring cha-ching. Really kind.
That comes from
You know what,
Citizens
though,
Bank and
Muse?
Trust.
It's going to be really challenging, though, to support your habit when you're a little $2,000 lighter in the wallet. You know, it's a little harder.
I don't have a habit.
Although she's saying you don't have a wallet.
No, you got to have a wallet. Well, you actually don't have to. You can have like a money clip or whatever. Some people have those.
Do you go wallet or money clip?
I go wallet.
Oh, no.
I do. I go wallet.
Do you
still.
sit on your wallet?
I do. I sit on my wallet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Listen, as your friend, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. You need to stop sitting on your wallet. You have got to go money clip and go front pocket. It is going to jack up your spine. I'm telling you. There's bajillions of studies and research and all that stuff, but you're sitting with your spine crooked and you're just growing into that position. It's a terrible thing. Do not sit on your wallet. Like, if you do a wallet, whenever you get where you're going, take your wallet, like here, take your wallet out of your pocket, put it in your desk drawer. Do not sit on your wallet for hours and hours and hours. Muse, don't do it. Paulie, wallet or money clip?
I have a wallet, but I do what you do. I take it out and never sit on it.
Years ago, I made the change. There's so many good money clips now. Like, my key makes a bigger indentation in my pocket than my money clip. I'm going to get you a money clip. I'm going to get you a good one, too. Like a really good one.
All right. Can I put that in my back pocket?
No.
Why not? I see it's a comfortability thing there, man.
You will, once you make, it's just familiarity. Once you make that change, someone help Muse here. By the way, you know what else I learned today? Managers meeting. I'm getting a little off. We got to go around the SEC. We got Bourbon Dictionary coming up. I'm gonna go quickly. So on our app. So this, by the way, so if you're listening on 100.3 ESPN New Orleans, Alexandria 94.7, ESPN 103.7 Lafayette, 104.1 Lake Charles, love all of you. Thank you so much for listening there on the affiliates in the local markets. But on our station app, the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app, I didn't even know this is a thing. If you open up the app, you can leave us voice messages.
Oh, I did not know that.
Seriously.
No.
So open up the app. There's a little microphone at the bottom. If you just touch the microphone, that screen will come up. You just push the record button at the bottom, and and you can start recording. Blah 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 blah. You can record whatever message you want, and then it'll send. It's now programmed to send them to my email. So anybody that wants to go leave a message, you can do that. We might start to incorporate that into shows. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like to voice messages, like when we do freak jury type thing, if that's an easy thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know if that'll work with Freak Jury, but
Maybe
yeah.
not. We'll explore the studio space. Shut up, Paul. Poor Paul.
God bless you, Paul.
Oh, God, Paul. Paul is like a sneezing fiend.
He's a serial sneezer.
Yeah, serial sneezer. My sister's like that. Paul cannot sneeze just once. What's the most you've ever sneezed consistently, Paul, or consecutively?
No joke, probably like 15, maybe.
I don't
believe it,
think
yeah.
you're joking. I believe you. Like I've seen you go into these sneezing fits. I feel badly for you. You need to take like a Claritin or something. Here, I'm trying to give you guys help. I'm trying to get you to stop sitting on your wallet, you to stop sneezing. I'm just full of advice now. I feel very paternal today. I feel very paternal.
All right, yeah.
I was supposed to talk about LSU baseball. Instead, we talked about sneezing, sitting on wallets, money clips, the new feature, not new feature, old feature in the app that I just discovered. But right now, let's go around the SEC. What the heck? Let's do it. Here we go.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Arkansas Razorbacks.
All right, we're going to do this quickly. Top-rated player in the portal is going to be a Razorback. John L. Davis out of Florida Atlantic, 6'4", 203-pound guard, averaged 18-6 this past year for the Owls. He's joining John Calipari and the Hogs.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Dayton transfer Kobe Bria has committed to Kentucky. I don't know if it's Bria or Bray. You get a pronunciation on that. He picked Kentucky over Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and UConn. So he good. Hit 100 3-pointers last year while making 50% of his attempts. Only 3 players in college basketball history have ever done that. Brea is the 6th player to commit to Kentucky out of the portal.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Van Allen Lubin has hit the transfer portal. That's a big loss for Vanderbilt. New coach Mark Byington. Lubin averaged 12.6 boards a game after transferring in from Notre Dame. He was one of only 2 players that remained from last year after Jerry Stackhouse got fired. Now only J.Q. Roberts returns.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Gamecocks added a commitment from Nevada transfer DeLavion Campbell, 6'4", 218-pounder. 1 season remaining. Began his career at Illinois back in 2019, then went to Nevada. Now will finish at South Carolina. He's a wide receiver, I should have mentioned that. 5th wide receiver transfer that South Carolina's added in this cycle.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Running back Kendrick Riscano will enter the transfer portal. Played sparingly as a true freshman this past season. Was expected to have he was a 4-star, was expected to have a bigger role, but Ole Miss added Henry Parrish and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt out of the transfer portal. So Riscano is hitting the portal after 1 year in Oxford.
The Missouri Tigers.
Dayton Hopkins, a 4-star edge from Herman, Missouri, has committed to Mizzou. 3rd prospect for the 2025 class from Missouri. 6'6", 210. He's a 4-star edge rusher. Missouri now has 7 commits for the 2025 class. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by First South Farm Credit. If you are thinking about buying land, do what Louisianians have done for more than 100 years. Go to firstsouthland.com. Well, if I'm going to be completely honest, for more than 100 years, Louisianians haven't gone to firstsouthland.com because the internet isn't 100 years old. But people have called First South Farm Credit for more than 100 years, since 1916. That was my bottle. Muse heard beep, beep. I was like, what was that? There's a bottle down there. Firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com is the website. Listen, if it's land for agriculture, hey, obviously our great friends with Sunshine, you want to buy that big piece of farm equipment, that big John Deere, they can help you finance your farm equipment as well. But maybe you just want your own recreational property, your own hunting property. Maybe you want land to build your dream home. Listen, First South Farm Credit can help you buy land in any of the contiguous 48. If you want to do business with someone in Louisiana, it's First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Go to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Mincy in studio 17 minutes from right now. A lot of Saints talk next hour. The Saints added a free agent defensive back today. We'll talk about that. Kyle Hergel, undrafted free agent out of Boston College who signed with the Saints. I am jacked about talking to this guy. He'll be here in 45 minutes from right now. And at the top of hour 3, I'm going to go deep dive into why I absolutely love the Spencer Rattler pick. This is going to be a deep dive into that selection and Spencer Rattler as a prospect. So we'll do that coming up at the start of hour number 3. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Okay, y'all. Got the next installment of Evenings at the Renaissance coming up in just 2 days. Been telling you about it for weeks now, but look, the Renaissance Hotel, I love that they've done this. Evenings at the Renaissance is a cool feature that they're doing a couple times a month where they bring in different spirit companies and they feature their products with craft cocktails, and it's a totally free event to come to, but it is limited as far as availability. So highly recommend you call over to the Renaissance Hotel and get your complimentary tickets. It's this Friday, 6 until 8:30 p.m. with our friends from 7-3 Distillery. So do not miss this exclusive spirit tasting event. You can go experience also Tula, like I've told you about, the cool chic bar area, the indoor-outdoor flow of the terrace, and you get to have some great craft cocktails from our friends at 7-3 Distillery. So it's evenings at the Renaissance this Friday, 6 to 8:30 p.m. Totally free, but call ahead to get your tickets at the Renaissance Hotel.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
Okay, wrapping up hour number 1, presented by Pluckers. Got booze questions. Get them in for our guy, Taylor Calandro. How are you, dude?
Good. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing really well. Real quick, are you a wallet guy or a money clip guy?
I have a no big deal Gucci money clip.
That's okay. I don't mind if you want to waste money on a Gucci money clip. But actually, how much would a Gucci money clip cost? I don't know.
was like $400 or
Okay,
something.
that feels a bit ridiculous, but no judgment here because I buy a lot of things that people probably think were ridiculous too. But I have a money clip that's really good. It's like it's magnetic, so like when you turn it upside down, the cards won't fall out. It's really convenient. Anyway, Muse here sits on his wallet, and
See, he's a young fella too.
Mm.
Man, you can do so much on your phone payment wise now. Like you don't even really need that.
True, it's true.
You know,
I mean, and honestly, like because in Louisiana we're all going to LA Wallet now, where you have your ID on your phone, on your app, on the LA Wallet app. Like you don't even need your ID with you anymore. You have it on your phone, like as long as you have your phone. But anyway, Brad Newman said, my chiropractor told me about sitting on my wallet. Makes a huge difference. Do not sit on your wallet. Darius Woodland said the Ridge wallet is so sleek. It's perfect for the front pocket. Chad Guidry said front pocket. Yeah, those are the ones that got it. It's unanimous here, Muse. I'm telling you. Young guy, don't screw up your back by sitting on your wallet.
I will work to not sit on my wallet anymore. Having my wallet in my front pocket makes me just absolutely cringe.
Is it? But that's what it was. George was sitting on his wallet, was hurting his back. Okay, let's get to the order of business. If you got questions for Taylor, email us, tweet us, text us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. You can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Okay, what's new?
I'm sipping on what's new right now. It is JT Mellick High Proof. It's 118 proof JT Mellick whiskey, 100% rice whiskey. It's $60. I just tasted it like 10 seconds ago. It's fantastic. I was looking forward to trying it. And, man, JT Mellick makes me feel good that there's like one Louisiana whiskey that's serviceable and on the better end of being good.
So I just very candidly, one of the reasons I don't love Japanese whiskeys is I don't love rice-based whiskeys. Why would, give me a comp here. Why might I feel differently about this?
I really like this, and the reason I really like the rice, and from what they told me and what I know, it's the only 100% rice whiskey in America. It's soft, like wheat, almost.
Okay.
It's really soft. It does have some spice to it, but it reminds me of a wheated bourbon, so a softer bourbon. But this one, I mean, it's a higher proof, so it's got a nice little ethanol, alcohol kick on the back end that I really like.
Is the whole process, the distilling process for JT Mellick done here in Louisiana, or is anything sourced?
Branch, Louisiana. If you blink, you pass the place. It's like a little crawfish shack in the middle of a bunch of rice fields and crawfish ponds.
That's really cool. I mean, I love obviously supporting Louisiana companies and Louisiana farmers. So if you're talking about rice and grain farmers in the state, I mean, of course, love supporting anything Louisiana. The odd thing is just our climate isn't, like, one of the reasons I think a lot of distilleries have struggled here, Taylor, you tell me if I'm wrong, is our climate just isn't necessarily conducive to aging whiskey here. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, it's a decent climate to do it. I think the problem that's been here is it's been rushed, and people have wanted to rush, and it takes time. And Mellick has actually waited. I think this stuff's at least 5 years old.
Okay.
And all their stuff's grained to glass. So I've been out there. They do the process correctly. It's a really small process, but they do it correctly.
Okay.
So and the product shows it.
That's great to know. Good for them.
High proof.
Let's see. Let's get to questions. Email us, tweet us, text us. Greg Lehman asked Taylor, do you have any derivatives of a traditional martini that you enjoy?
Man, I do not like martinis at all. At all.
Why not?
I don't like the salinity of olive juice. It's just way too... All I taste is the beach, like salt water when I drink a martini. I've never gotten past the super saltiness of a martini. So I can't really answer that question. I don't like them.
This is one from last week that we didn't get to, but Eric said, ask Taylor, what is bonded bourbon?
Bonded was started way back. A lot of bootleg whiskey during Prohibition. The distillers were trying to control the whiskey making process, and so the federal government got involved. Anyway, that's the bonded process. The main thing is the 100 proof, at least 4 years warehouse. basically the main thing is it's 100 proof and all bonded bourbon.
And just real quickly, why you maybe just want to explain why the government instituted the bonded, or you'll see bottled in bond on the label. Why the government initially set that?
So there was a lot of really junk, like grain alcohol, flavored grain alcohol that was trying, and whiskey were getting undercut severely. So they wanted to make a regulation to protect themselves, basically, so they could sell whiskey.
It was like, all right,
probably why we have the whiskey we have now.
Yeah, that's a great point. All right, last thing. What about beers right now?
Beers, we just got the berry pack from Abita. It's got like strawberry. It's Barney, which is Andy Gator, and Purple Haze, and Mighty pack to drink during the summer for sure. And other new beers, man, we haven't really got anything. We are.
I literally have 5 seconds.
Okay, well, I'll see you.
See ya.
AFR.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard, find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic declared himself ready for Game 5 tonight of the first-round NBA playoff series against the Clippers, but also acknowledged he probably wouldn't be playing on his sprained right knee if this were the regular season. That series is tied 2-2. Coverage 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. No Kristaps Porzingis for the Celtics in the potential clincher tonight. Game 5 versus the Heat. Expected to miss at least several games with a calf strain. Boston can weather his absence, but only for so long, points out ESPN basketball analyst Andrea Carter.
I don't think it's a cause for concern against the Heat, not against potentially the Magic or the Cavs, but it is in whoever potentially comes out and plays in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's where it comes into play, and that's where the Celtics will be vulnerable. I don't think the Celtics are vulnerable until the Eastern Conference Finals.
Now Horford likely starts in place of Porzingis. Tiger Woods told the Today Show he's still on track to play once a month the rest of the season, remains focused on the majors, said he mapped out a calendar before the season began, but his physical limitations continue to make it challenging.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 30 minutes from right now, Kyle Hergel will be here, undrafted free agent, signed with the Saints out of Boston College. I'm jacked to talk about this guy. But right now, jacked to have this guy in studio. It's our guy, Barstool Mincy, Ben Mintz. What up, Mincy?
Oh, doing great, man. You know, anytime I come through Baton Rouge, I'm always going to come see y'all here at 104.5 and Guarantee Media. I mean, I truly mean this. I value these relationships a lot. Y'all have all been great to me. So glad to be in here, see you and Mr. Musso and Mr. O'Neill and seeing the crew. And glad to be here. I'm playing. So this is a ridiculous invite. Like, life always blows me away because all the crazy stuff I get to do because of Barstool. The closest I will ever come to government tonight. I'm on the state Senate basketball team playing the state House of Representatives team in the PMAC at LSU at 7. I got a jersey and everything. Supposedly, I'm on the end of the bench. I'm only going to get a couple minutes to run for the Senate team.
Good.
Because supposedly they've got some guys that are actually pretty good. So,
you know, Mincy, I think part of that gig at that point is like, all right, just go. You know, like I played basketball when I was really young, and I was slow and fat and couldn't jump, but I was big. And so my coach always told me, he's like, just take your big ass and just push people out of the way and get rebounds. So that's what I did. I think that's what you should do tonight. It's a good strategy.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen because I'm certainly not a very good basketball player, but I'm excited to be here. You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I kind of flexed on Barstool with this a little bit because this week I gotten some, you know, as usual, the day ends and why, but I was getting some heat from Big Cat. Like, oh, you're in New Orleans this week. What are you doing? And so I sent him my itinerary, and I was like, oh, you know, and I had the government game on there. And then, you know, mentioned I'm going to the Rolling Stones at Jazz Fest tomorrow.
Nice,
and I was feet on the
nice.
wood for Pels Monday. And he's like, yeah, so you're basically, you know, on vacation all week, but you're getting to play in this government game. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And so then they hit me. I've got to do work reports for Big Cat and Dave again now. They hit me with it yesterday. So
to make sure you're actually doing what you say you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
You're not just on vacation all the time.
So last night's the video I put out last night.
What is this? For those who haven't seen it, check out Mincy's social media. You're crowd surfing in a chair.
Yeah, it's like the Jewish
is it the Hava Havila? Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. But it's like
I'm
the
not
Hava
sure.
Havila.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, and so I'm holding
on.
on for dear life here, dude. I bent this. I bent the chair. I'm kind of happy, but I'm terrified. You know. I mean,
how many people are in there?
About 850. House of Blues was packed last night. So
what was the show?
So it's my buddy Andy Frasco in the UN. He a Monroe guy, used to be his tour manager. So we've known Frasco 10 years, but he's kind of blown up. He's a Sony Records. He's got a big podcast, but they bring more energy to the stage than anybody I've ever seen. He's got a Jameson bottle on the side of the stage with him. He'll crowd surf to the bar, chug Jameson, crowd surf back. I mean, he's like throwing band guys. They're wrestling on stage. He's got a saxophone. I mean, it's just it's as wild as it gets. So I was up there. I got to MC the event, and like I'm on stage with the band. I mean, it was really funny too, because in the work report today I put 2 a.m. did that dance.
Okay, so I see Portnoy's tweet 3:24 a.m. It did the Hava Nagila. I said Hava Havila. Nagila is how it is. Okay. I thought I was mispronouncing it, but that is I think that's a really cool tradition. I don't understand the genesis of it and why they do it. Like when you lift people in the chair, like do it at weddings and things like that, right? It's kind of a celebratory thing, but that was really cool. I loved it. Mintzy's in studio with us. By the way, so you said you were your feet on the wood for the Pels Monday. Might be the extent of the Pels talk for me all week.
Yeah, I get it. It's sore. It's a sore subject.
Well, here's my thing, Mintzy. Like, I love the team. I want them to be great. If it's from this state, I'm going to cheer for it. And while a lot of people don't love the Pels, they haven't had the emotional connection with the team yet, and I understand it. I do, and I love them. But as a general rule, as a fan or consumer, if you quit, then I'm quitting on you. And the team quit. When they lost game 1, they didn't show up game 2. They came home. We thought maybe in game 3 you'd see a little effort. They got their ass kicked, and it was like, why even try?
Well,
so I'm whatever.
Well, my thing on it, I mean, they scored the most points they scored the whole series was 92 points in a game. And Brandon Ingram got punked in that series by Lou Dort. He's got 8 points in game 4. They're in a real weird spot because Ingram's a free agent after next year, and him and Zion just hadn't worked. Zion's been out so much, and Ingram's been hurt a lot too. But the ball, it doesn't work. Like Zion, they found something late in the season with Zion at point forward and CJ, Herb, and Trey hitting knockdown threes. Because it's the analytics world. Zion driving, hitting layups, or Zion kicking and hitting threes. And they got hot with it. They won 49 games. And, and then Zion, I mean, that was one of the biggest tragedy sports things I've seen in a long time. 40 points in the play-in game. It hurts his hamstring when we've waited 5 years to see him in a playoff game. Right. I mean, that was as deflating. Nothing's like the NFC Championship in 2018, but this was as deflating of a New Orleans sports moment as I've seen since, I think.
What if you look to next year, there's a lot of conversation, like you got to get a point guard, right? They've got to go find. But then do you extend Brandon? Like, are you
does he even want to stay?
Does he want to stay?
I don't know that he does. And they're going to have to pay Trey Murphy for sure because he's a top 5 NBA three-point shooter at 22, and he's getting stronger, and he needs to be more assertive. Like, I feel like I've told you off the air they need to run more screens for him.
Yeah, we're talking about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you build around Trey, Herb, and Zion for sure. Alvarado's on a real team-friendly deal. He's a good backup, energy guy. Whole rest of the thing. Like, Jonas is gone. I kind of think you got to build around those guys. Maybe you trade Ingram and just try to get what you can for him, like a center and some stuff this offseason.
Yeah. The Jonas, what's Jonas's name?
The Travis Kelce lookalike in Vasalunas.
That was Mad Dog on First Take when he mispronounced Jonas's name. He called him Vasalunas. Hit that again, listen.
The Travis Kelce lookalike in Vasalunas.
Tell me you've never watched the Pelicans play without telling me you've never watched the Pelicans play.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. But yeah, I think overall though, as bad as it was, 49-33 is still a hell of a year, and Zion showed he's a superstar. Who knows if he could stay on the floor? He actually lost weight though.
Yeah.
And the point forward role, they really found something with that. So I'm trying, me though, I'm trying to invent reasons to be positive. I mean,
well, Zion playing 70 games, 72 games this year. I mean, that's a good start, right? If you can get that type of production out of Zion, we got something because he's shown you he can be a star. But can you build the pieces around him? Because it feels like with this group that you have right now, you've hit your ceiling. I don't know what to think about Willie Green either. Okay, I feel like that's the extent of the Pels talk.
That's it.
It's just, they quit.
There's nothing else to say.
They quit, whatever. Mintzy's in studio with us. So, by the way, tip off for that game tonight's at 7.
7. So yeah,
is it open to the public? Is it a fundraiser?
I forgot what the charity is, but it is for charity. And 7 o'clock start, playing in the PMAC. You know, that's pretty. It's pretty cool.
I'm looking up the. I'm trying to look up the basketball game, or Muse, see if you can do that real quick. I'm curious what the fundraiser is for.
But they were super all about getting me in and me doing social media for it and stuff.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's awesome. Hey, we of course we talk every Friday. We talk some SEC baseball. Do you think LSU is going to make regionals with 9 to play? They're 7-14 in the conference. Consensus seems to be you got to get to 13. Your 13 league wins to feel good going into Hoover.
What do they got next? They got Ole Miss.
It's A&M at Bama. Ole Miss here.
Well, I would be lying if the Ole Miss series is home. You got to feel good about. So you're gonna. Like you said, 6-3 will get you in. 5-4 is gonna be 12-18 is dicey.
Yeah.
But I feel like LSU. They've played a really tough schedule. They're obviously not the elite LSU teams we're used to, but I don't think they're that bad. I think they're a hell of a lot better than Ole Miss is. I think the schedule's been tough, and I don't know. It's been a weird year.
It's one of those things, Mintzy, where I wonder if, and this is just like, you can't undo what's done, but I wonder if the schedule was just shaped a little differently, right? Like instead of going State, Florida, Arkansas, Vandy, Tennessee, just boom, boom, body blows. Like even if you had just like swapped Missouri and Arkansas, so you had an opportunity to get a series win early. So you weren't just continuing to dig yourself this huge hole and then having to play out of it. I mean, maybe it still ends up the same way. I just can't help but wonder how different it might have looked if the schedule was shaped differently.
Yeah, well, I always go to the SEC tourney in Hoover every year, and I can't believe we're looking at a world where LSU and Ole Miss are just fighting to get in it. And Ole Miss didn't even make it last year.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but I still don't think LSU. I know they're not elite, but I really don't think they're horrible or anything. I think it's like you said, they just got buried with a tough stretch.
Yeah, I think they'll be in Hoover. I don't know that I feel great, especially after having a chance to sweep Missouri and
Auburn
and not getting either of those sweeps. It just puts so much pressure on this weekend against A&M and next week on the road against Bama, and it's hard to imagine coming out of that. Hey, before you go, thoughts on the Saints draft?
Yeah, so one take, I love your outspoken take. You always go hard with your takes. I wish I liked Rattler more. I know you like him. I don't know. I just think he turns the ball over like crazy.
Just to clarify, I don't know that I'm so bullish on Spencer Rattler. I'm bullish on the Devon Rooks was a 5th rounder. Like it's a
Wasn't Ian
round,
Book 5th rounder too?
Ian Book was a 4th rounder.
4th rounder.
It's a 5th round pick. Your hit rate's about 30% on a 5th round pick. You can tell me I got a guy that maybe is the best arm, not best decision making. I'm with you. Long way to go, which is why he fell the way he did. But the upside, Mincy, the upside of that kill for a 5th round pick.
Yeah, the big thing I came out of the draft, and I'd already heard this. Marshawn Lattimore and Dennis Allen hate each other, and he was like checked out into last year. And then them taking Kool-Aid, Lattimore's gone. I think.
Do you think he's gone post June 1?
Yeah. I do. I just don't. I think that pick, because the Saints actually have some other good young quarters, and so I think he's gone. And the offensive line situation. Obviously you had to take a tackle. The Ryan Ramczyk thing. They don't even know if he can play again now. He's got this degenerative condition or something. And do you bring Pete back? I don't know. But the O-line thing, you got Eric McCoy, the Oregon State 1st rounder, and Cesar Ruiz, and that's like it right now.
Yeah.
James, the backup tackle, even retired. So it's a mess. And when I know you've been outspoken about the Derek Carr thing. You got a mid-30s quarterback that can't move. You got to be able to block. I don't know. This is kind of basic. So what the whole season comes down to Clint Kubiak though, because they finally went outside the Peyton coaching tree.
I love it.
I like the Shanahan thing, but he's putting in the zone blocking scheme.
Yeah.
And Kubiak got a lot out of Brock Purdy. Can he rejuvenate Carr? But it's all about like how good he is, because if they found a really good young elite offensive mind, then they'll have a chance.
That may serve Trevor Penning well too.
Maybe move him to left guard. You move him to left guard.
Absolutely.
He can't play. He doesn't have the feet to play tackle.
He's not gonna play tackle.
He could be a road great at that left guard spot. Maybe he could be a road great and run blocker at left guard.
I've used this comp a bunch, Mitzi. It's Robert Gallery all over again.
Yeah, good point.
They took him second over. The Raiders took him 2nd overall out of Iowa. Couldn't play a lick of tackle, but he played a dozen years at left guard. Just a big giant dude. And hey, run over people. Okay, I think Penning can do that. So maybe you got a good young left guard. And that's what happened with Andrews Pete.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Pete, you drafted him. He was a left tackle in college. You drafted him to be your right tackle. He couldn't move. He played left guard. He wasn't great, but he was a starter. He was a starting caliber player in the NFL.
No, that makes sense. Hopefully, if Penning, that would be huge for the Saints if they could slot him in at guard and count on him. But
Muse, did you get the info for tonight's game?
Not the charity, no.
I'll find it. I'll text and figure it out.
Hoop LA basketball game, right? Mintz,
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah. It's I even put 2024 in there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't believe
Thanks,
I'm in
Muse.
it. I can't believe
No,
I'm.
I'm kidding.
I can't believe I'm in that though. I mean, like that's such a hilarious invite, you know.
So do you know if it's like tickets at the door or stuff like that?
I think
or
it's open.
donation?
I
So
think
it's open, just donations, stuff
it
like that?
seems
Cool.
like it's
Cool.
they wanted more than it seemed like there was more the merrier type situation.
Y'all get on by and heckle Mincy tonight out at the at the PMAX. 7 o'clock tip.
Yeah, 7 o'clock tip, and everything else is good. I'm doing Rolling Stones tomorrow, Jazz Fest, and
Mincy living his best
I'm
life.
doing it
I
huge.
love
But
it.
I'm catching so much heat over it. But doing it big in New Orleans all weekend, and life's good, man. I can't, I don't know. I've definitely had it worse.
Are you going to? Are you going to see Foo Fighters Friday?
Yes, they're on my. The only thing is the weather could be bad, real bad.
no.
Friday. Friday's the only day that's facing weather. So if the weather's horrible, but I'm planning Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
All right.
I sound withered and old, but the Saturday second weekend's too crowded. It's just too much.
I took the day off Friday to go to Foo Fighters. I go to Jazz Fest one day every year.
Yeah, you pick one a year, yeah.
And usually it's a band I want to see on a Saturday or Sunday, but this year it just happened to be that Foo Fighters are Friday, so I'm going on Friday. But,
Okay, well, I hope to see you out there. If it's like 60% rain, so hopefully not. It won't be too bad.
We've dealt with worse, Mincy. Good to see you, bro. Thanks
Absolutely.
for coming in.
Great to see y'all.
The one and only Ben Mintz. Stay with us here. It's AFR presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. You going to walk in front of the camera again? Thank you, bro. We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Spring is here. If you need weed and feed for your lawn, they got it at Clegg's. If you need mulch or soil, bag or bulk, they got it at Clegg's. If you need flowers, truckloads arriving every single day at Clegg's to beautify your flower beds, your patio pots. If you want beautiful decor for the exterior, if you want things like tuned wind chimes to accent your outdoor space, bird feeders, hummingbird feeders, they've got it all at Clegg's. They're the best. They've been doing it for more than 60 years. And I actually just had someone on the show text line hit me up about the mosquito thing we always tell you about. You want to knock out mosquitoes 90 days at a time, they can help you with an easy product there at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you in when you go see our friends today at Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us. and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Live After 5 is back this spring. Clock out and rock out with us Fridays from April 12th through May 24th in downtown Baton Rouge for the free concert series, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join us for another season filled with incredible music, delicious food, talented artists, and a lively second-line parade. Friday, May 10th, come out to see the original Pinettes for Live After 5.
Kyle Hergel, Saints undrafted free agent, with us in 10 minutes from right now. Going to shift things around a little bit because we didn't get to talk LSU baseball in the last hour. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here because the game last night was hardly worth mentioning. LSU blew the doors off of Grambling. 26-2 was the final. The Tigers had a 7-run second and then a 13-run fourth. I'm pulling up the box score. What was the fourth? Muse, did you go to the game, by the way?
I did not go to the game.
Why didn't you go to the game, Muse?
I did not go to the game.
Why didn't you want to go to the game? Why? I can't imagine why, Muse.
Yeah.
I mean, only the diehards. Right? Was our guy Corey in the outfield?
Corey was in the outfield.
I actually did see Corey in the outfield.
Corey was in the outfield, yeah.
The 13-run fourth, I was trying to think, and of course this is the one and only Todd Polich. Most runs scored in an inning by an LSU baseball team since the 2000 team put up 14 in an inning against ULM in a regional game. But the one that always stands out to me the most and was the 96 regional game against Georgia Tech where they scored 18. If you're old enough to remember it, you'll remember it. That was one of those you remember where you were when type deals. And I hate to be like the back in my day, but like all the games weren't or regional games weren't televised. So I was listening to that on the radio. My family does the Moscona family crawfish boil on Memorial Day weekend every year. And and on that Sunday, we were driving home listening to that game on the radio when that inning was happening. And it's just, and there's some video you could find on YouTube and stuff, but it's incredible when you see an inning like that transpire. I don't know necessarily that there's much I take away from the game last night. Brady Neal was back from the injury. That was good to see. He had a really good offensive night as well. We got to see Gavin Guidry play second base. Do you think, Muse, is this the Gavin Guidry second base era? Is that what we see now?
No.
Or is LSU up a bajillion and they're like, hey, go play second base?
LSU was up a bajillion. And they were like, hey, man, go play second base.
Somebody asked me, like, is he not going to pitch anymore? Is he going to, like, first of all, Gavin Guidry hasn't had a competitive at bat in like a year and a half.
I can tell you when. Because I looked it up last night.
His last AB? Okay.
His last AB was March 28th, 2023 against Grambling.
Of course it was. Were they
Both times.
Were they up a bajillion?
I didn't look at the box score. I just looked at his season last year, and I'm like, there it is.
So look, you haven't had a competitive AB in a year. But they're not going to count. Like Gavin Guidry's not going to play a position down the stretch when you're trying to get into the postseason when he hasn't had a competitive bat in a year. Like that's not a practical thing to do. You can put him out there against Grambling at second base and get him some run, and that's fine. I think Fidel, of all, they used a ton of pitchers. They went Coleman, Dutton, Hurd, Moffitt. Moffitt gave up a 2-run homer. Ulloa, Primo, Cade Woods, and then Bronzini. That's how they finished the ninth. Each got an out, or excuse me, the seventh. Each got an out in the seventh. But Ulloa pitched the sixth and up and down in order, retired the side, and it struck out the side. And I understand the level of competition, but that's one that has perplexed me because early in the season, Ulloa was a guy they really counted on, and he sort of vanished of late. But I am excited to see Sam Dutton get more and more run. The thing about Dutton is he just throws strikes. Like Sam Dutton's strikeout to walk ratio is uncanny. Even in SEC play, I think his one walk in SEC play. that's a guy that, a couple of weeks ago when they were at Tennessee, Jay started giving him some run, and he's delivered. And it's kind of the antithesis of what happened with Cade Anderson. I'm not coming down on Cade Anderson. He's a freshman. He's got a huge career ahead of him at LSU. So that's in no way am I saying, like, Jay did the right thing. But if you remember early in the season, Cade Anderson was magnificent in the pre-conference, and we had the conversation. Like, you get to the point where you feel like there's more value in Cade Anderson coming out of the bullpen in SEC weekends than starting in the midweek. And so ultimately they did give him that shot to come out of the bullpen in SEC play, and it didn't go great. So went back to the midweeks, and he performed very well in that midweek starting role, and they gave him another shot to start on Sunday this past week, and he didn't make it out of the first inning. So it's probably a situation where he's just not ready to consistently get out SEC hitters. That's okay. Like, not every freshman pitcher is going to be ready to do that. So you hope next year, when that opportunity comes, he's going to be more ready for it. I don't know that you take much away from that game last night. It's 26-2. The bigger thing for me that we talk about all the time here, and I promise I'm not kicking the anthill or poking the bear or starting any of that sort of stuff. But, we talk about the midweek games, and even in playing that game last night, LSU's RPI spot dropped 2 spots. They went from 44 to 42, from 42 to 44 after that game. LSU, if they win their midweek game next week, they'll have lost only one midweek game all year, and they're still dangerously uphill to make it into regionals. I'm sure you all know this by now, and I'm not trying to unearth this whole conversation, but the point remains. You have to take care of your business in conference play. And the 3 weekends remaining, Texas A&M is number 1 in the RPI, Alabama is number 14 in the RPI, and Ole Miss is number 27 in the RPI. So you have 9 league games remaining against number 1, number 14, and number 27 in the RPI. Your RPI is going to be plenty good enough to get you, regardless of midweek or any of that stuff. Your RPI is going to be plenty good enough to make a case to be in the postseason. The real challenge is, are you going to have enough skins on the wall in SEC play with 9 to go? And it feels like you got to go 6-3. We've talked about all that. I don't know a path for you to win 2 games this weekend against Texas A&M unless Gage Jump and Luke Holman just go have absolutely incredible days, which is possible. I mean, it is the one differentiator in baseball from any other sport, how one player like that, when he has the ball in his hand on every pitch, can change the dynamic and sequence of an entire game or series. So you're going to need big weekends from those 2 guys because, man, you got to get at least one. If you get swept this weekend by Texas A&M, which, knock on Formica, then you feel like with 6 to play, you've got to go sweep Bama and Ole Miss to put yourself in that situation, or do something completely unexpected, like go win the SEC tournament. So anything can happen. All that stuff is certainly a possibility. It's why they play the game and all the cliches. But this weekend is one that you're staring directly down the barrel of the best team in the country. You're at home, and you feel like you absolutely must take at least one game this weekend. And if you could find a way somehow to play your best ball all weekend and go scratch out a couple of wins, it feels like you've got a great opportunity to get yourself into postseason play. So coming down the stretch here in SEC play for LSU with 3 weekends to go. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. Remember, graduates, that great deals right now. Every college student, you automatically get a $500 bonus when you buy a new vehicle at South Point Volkswagen. So if you're a college student, maybe looking for that first car, looking for something more reliable, go see our friends at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, it is After Further Review. I'm excited about this. Kyle Hergel is one of 16 undrafted free agents for the New Orleans Saints. His story is an interesting one. From Canada, went to Texas State, transferred a couple of times, actually was at North Dakota, then Texas State, then Boston College, now is an undrafted free agent. He's headed to the New Orleans Saints as an interior lineman, a center guard, and We all know the Saints need help on the offensive line. Could Kyle Hergel be one of the guys to earn a roster spot? We're going to talk to him when we come back here on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about our friends over at Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics and proud Louisiana resident since 1982. Action Industries opened up their doors servicing the petrochemical and refinery markets for 42 years now. And on top of all the great work that they do as a commercial contractor for all the plants, and you understand, listen, if you're a turnaround coordinator, if you're a maintenance manager for one of the plants, you know that nobody even gets hired to do work in the plants if you don't have an exceptional safety record. And Action Industries, their safety record beats the industry standard. And boy, the testimonials they have from some of the biggest companies in the world are astounding. And certainly when you call them, you could ask to see those, and they'll gladly share. But on top of that, fabrication shop services, pipe, structural steel, pressure vessels. They do exchanger tube cleaning as well. It's Action Industries, servicing our city and state for 42 years. Action Industries.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at Sunequip.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
It's always a really frantic sprint after the NFL draft for teams to sign undrafted free agents. The Saints ended up inking deals with 16 UDFAs. We're very pleased to be joined by one of them right now. Kyle Hergel, interior offensive lineman out of Boston College. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Kyle, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Hey man, it's our pleasure. And let me just start with draft day, right? So the draft is coming to an end. At what point are teams in touch with you about signing as a UDFA?
Yeah, it kind of depended. Some teams were the full day at day 3. Started talking. The Saints actually were one of the earliest teams to contact my agent. It was happening throughout the whole day, and kind of the later rounds, the 6th, 7th rounds, where it kind of picks up. And I talked to Coach Benton, and it kind of took off from there, and it was an awesome opportunity.
I've talked to enough guys throughout the years that have gone through the UDFA process. Like, draft ends, and then it's like boom. I mean, you've got 10, 15 minutes, and you got to make a decision, right? So if you would, walk us through that process, Kyle. Draft ends, what happens? Go.
Yeah, so, my agent's calling me. She says, you have this offer here. It's a great opportunity. And, I trusted them with the whole process, and I was just happy to land it with the New Orleans Saints, right? I was just so excited for the opportunity. It sounded amazing. It's a great city. It's in the South, which I'm familiar. I actually played at Texas State for 2 years, so it was awesome to, get back down there, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, we're going to go through your journey here in a second, because you've had a long, winding journey to get to this point, which is pretty fascinating. But how many teams offered you as a UDFA?
4 or 5 of them, for sure.
Yeah. What was it about the Saints offer that made it most appealing to you?
Yeah, it's just the area and the situation that I'm walking into. It's a great opportunity for me to come and compete and, make the team.
The Saints, look, they have roster spots available on the offensive line. That much goes without saying. Kyle Hergel is with us, Saints offensive lineman, as an undrafted free agent out of Boston College. All right, let me go back through your winding story. So you're from Canada, and you end up going to North Dakota, then to Texas State, then to BC. Walk me through what it's like playing, high school football in Canada, how your recruiting process went that got you to North Dakota.
Yeah, I was actually committed to a JUCO. Not too many people know that, out of Canada. So I played in a prep school in Canada. We played American schedule. It was, Thursday you get on a bus, Friday night you play a game, and then you're coming back Saturday morning, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I actually was committed to New Mexico Military Institute, and then I got a really late offer from North Dakota in March. It wasn't even a full scholarship. It was 65%. I remember to this day, I walked into the building a day before training camp, and I didn't even have a locker. I had a hook and a metal chair on the side of someone else's locker. So, that could tell you a little bit about what they thought of me at the time. But, a Canadian kid just with an opportunity, right? And that's kind of just the whole story of my career. You get to North Dakota. I redshirted my first year. I wasn't ready to play. And then the next year, I'm the newcomer of the year. I start 12 games in the conference. And then, I moved to the next year. COVID happens, and we play the spring season. And I decide, I really want to transfer. I want to challenge myself. I want to move up a level because I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to, show people I can play against the best competition. So I moved to Texas State. I get there. San Marcos, a kid from North Dakota, Canada, going all the way down to Texas. You kind of don't know what to expect, but it was great to me. And, some of my best friends and some of the most amazing coaches I've had, I was blessed to be coached by Coach Turner, Jim Turner. Who was a coach for the Dolphins, A&M, and Coach Spavital, who's now the OC at Baylor.
Sure.
He was my head coach. And, it was awesome to go play for them. And then one more journey and one more stop. I wanted to challenge myself one more time, and, to the Power 5 ranks. And Boston College was a great spot. Coach Turner, he was an alumni at Boston College. And it was just a great spot. They say BC guy, right? And I kind of fit the mold for that. And that's kind of where I went in recruiting. And Coach Snee, Chris Snee, he was the one that was standing on the table for me to get to BC. So it was awesome. Yeah, it worked out really well.
It's pretty fascinating too. I know, when I was scrolling through and doing some research, Bruce Feldman had you on his freaks list as well over The Athletic. What? All right, why are you a freak? what qualified you there?
Yeah, the guys at BC are going to get a kick out of that because my offensive line coach at BC, Coach Applebaum, he's like, oh, the freak, kind of was a little running joke all year. But, yeah, honestly, it's just preparation and hard work. And my strength coaches, they did such a great job with me. And, I'm not a guy that's afraid to get into the weight room. And, I love the weight room. I love lifting weights. I pride myself on being in shape. I pride myself on being ready and prepared. And my strength coaches in college were amazing. And, they did a great job with me. And I just listened to them and, worked my tail off every stop I've had. So that's kind of how you get to that point.
The other interesting too, Kyle, is I think most people know this about Boston College, right? So they had the Red Bandana Day in honor of Wells Crowder, who memorializing, actually in memory of Wells Crowder, who was a lacrosse player at BC who saved lives during the tower attacks 9/11. I think most people have probably heard of that story by now. But there's a really cool video that Boston College posted, and it's you carrying the Wells flag, running the team out on Red Bandana Day. For a guy that didn't spend his whole career at BC, it feels like that would be, an honor, reserved for a team captain, a leader. I mean, walk me through the decision, like how you knew you were going to carry the flag and how that decision was made, if you would.
Yeah, it was an honor for me to do that in such a prestigious game. It was something that was told, really, it was the night in the hotel. Coach Hafley came up to me. He's like, hey, you're going to, carry this flag out. And he explained to me the history of it because, not being there 4 years, you kind of have to understand what that flag means and what that red bandana stands for. And, to be a guy that came in there January and all I did was work, right? And I listened to my coaches, and he was just like, hey, you're going to carry this flag out for the team tomorrow. And it was an honor to do that. And a lot of people know about the Red Bandana game, but to really play in it and to carry that flag out, it was something really special for me to do. And I'll never forget that. One of the coolest memories in college football for me.
For those watching, there's the video of it right there. I know Kyle's got it on his Twitter. His Twitter is at KyleDawg60, DAWG, at KyleDawg60. If you want to give him a follow, you can see all that content there. Let me get a few actual football questions in if I can. Center, guard, where are you most comfortable?
Yeah, wherever the team needs me. I played both interior spots at guard. I have 44 games at right guard. I have 12 games at BC at left guard, and then I also play center. I was at the East-West Shrine Bowl, and I played exclusively center. I've always been a swing guy. At every school I've been at, I've been cross-trained to play center. I'm ready to do whatever the team needs.
Did the Saints staff, did Coach Benton or anybody with the Saints staff tell you where they would like to start you in rookie camp or any stuff?
No, I haven't really been detailed that information yet, but, I'm ready to do whatever the team needs.
Yeah, man. When you look at the journey of being an undrafted free, every football player dreams of hearing their name called, but it doesn't happen for more guys than it does. For you, what is the process like now, right? So you've gotten your opportunity. You'll be in rookie minicamp, and you'll be in camp with the Saints. But what is the process like for you now until you report?
Yeah, it's kind of a familiar situation. I've been doubted a lot throughout my entire career, right? And I kind of, I go back and forth with one of my mentors about it. I talk to him all the time about it, one of my high school coaches. And it's kind of a familiar feeling, right? I'm comfortable in a spot like this because I've been there so many times and I've been doubted so many times, and I kind of just always overachieve and prove the odds wrong. And I think that's just another great opportunity to do so. I'm really excited, and, a lot of guys might be upset about it, but at the same time, I relish the challenge. And, I really am looking forward to getting there and, showing this team what I have and kind of what I've been doing throughout my whole career, right? I'm not a 5-star guy, I'm not, your prototypical looking dude, but you know what, some of those traits that, I might have in some areas, I have others that are really strong. And, I'm always going to be a prepared guy. I'm going to be the ultimate team player, and I want to be a part of a great community. I just really think that it's a familiar feeling, and, it's a privilege to be a part of this organization. I look forward to competing my tail off.
Hey, Kyle, Canada, North Dakota, San Marcos, Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana. Those aren't all, and I guess I should say Boston, Massachusetts. Those all are the same. Are you going to miss the weather up there? Are you going to, we got better weather and food down here. You got to be more pumped about being in the South, right?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've actually been to New Orleans before too. Okay. I was able to go to Sunbelt Media Day in 22, and the Sunbelt headquarters is at Mars. Yeah, so it was awesome. I've been down there. I've been to Oceana's. I've been to Drago's. I know a little bit. Yeah. So it's awesome. Yeah, I'm
local.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say all that, but it was an honor to go there in 22, and I love the city. the food there is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, you got to watch it a little. Can't gain too much weight, but no, it's awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting down.
We need to get you a new hat. That's the only thing we got to change.
Yeah, my Boston hat. Yeah.
Our producer here is a Sox fan.
Is he?
I'm a Yankees guy, so we feud over that. But none of us have had a lot of bragging rights here of late anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey man, this was fun. I really appreciate you taking some time, man. Best of luck to you. Hopefully we get to catch up again down the road.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time having me on.
Man, it's our pleasure. That's Kyle Hergel. Saints offensive lineman coming out of Boston College. He's going to have a great shot to make this team, man. Like, we've talked about offensive line, how much of a need this is for the New Orleans Saints, right? They draft Taliesin Fuanga in round 1. He's very likely a plug-and-play guy. But, man, aside from McCoy at center and Ruiz at right guard and now Fuanga at one of those spots, like, not only do you have 2 starting spots open, but if you're going to keep 7 or 8 guys, and the thing about Kyle as well is the verse. You heard him talk about, he's a swing guy everywhere he's been. When you could play center or either guard spot, that versatility is how you win roster spots. He's going to be one to watch out of this list. We appreciate Kyle for spending a couple minutes with us here. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Actually, not far from the Saints headquarters is where the Michelli headquarters are. They've been in business for 76 years. You can always go to the website to learn more. It's a great place to start if you want to get more information about what they do and their menu of services. I say it all the time. If you weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Go to Michelli.com. They offer ISO 17025 accreditation. If you don't know what that is, you don't need it. If you know what it is, you understand why that's so important. And Michelli offers that to you. Also, their track system allows you 24/7, 365 access to all of your calibration certificates. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. We'll knock out our final break here of hour number 2. We'll come back, Muse Lab, Tigers, and the Pros. Also, after the top of the hour, in about 15 minutes, I'm going to do a deep dive into why I love the Spencer Rattler pick. And I know that this has been a little... it's been polarizing for fans. Some love it, some don't. I do. I love the pick. And I'm going to go deep dive into exactly why and what I think my expectations are. So we'll get to that here in about 15 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. You know where to find them? Everywhere. Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, and points in between. Just go to Rouse's.com if you want to shop them online. Remember, you can use their curbside pickup option, both on the website and on the app. Easy. Select your items. Your personal shopper goes and picks them out for you. You pull up into a designated spot. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. They bring your items out to you. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Always encourage you to go to the website and check out their social media because, remember, they have their weekly specials as well. So if you're doing your shopping, you're making groceries, I mean, you want to make sure that you're buying the best products possible. And when they have great values and great discounts like they do over at Rouse's, you can check out the weekly ad on their website or on their social media every single week. It's at Rouse's. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Been doing it right for 100 years. Rouse's, this feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Let's get him. Yuso, Tigers in the pros. I need to clear my voice. Got to do something here. Segment.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
You know what? I won't even make you wait to do it. Last night, Josh Smith. Another big night for our guy. 2 for 3.
He's not going to make the team.
Yeah.
Wyatt Langford,
how about
blah,
that?
blah,
They're
blah,
putting
blah,
Wyatt
blah,
Langford on the roster. Yeah.
blah,
All right.
Boom.
And
take that.
Second home run of the year for Smitty. 2 for 3 night. 2 runs scored. And the RBI.
Blast.
And he drew a walk just
Yeah, he
because he could.
Because he could.
Just because he could.
You know what? Always had a great eye. Quintessential leadoff guy. Going to make you work for it. He is wearing batting gloves now. You see that?
I did. I saw that. I noticed that in the last home run video that we played.
It's a little odd that you wouldn't wear batting gloves with a metal bat, but you do wear batting gloves with a wooden bat.
Yeah.
I think it'd be reversed.
Because I mean, you have a grip on both.
Yeah,
Like it's not like you're just.
We have the
gripping
grip on
wood,
the metal bat. Like you would
Yeah.
think just you would need. You
Right.
wouldn't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's interesting.
Whatevs.
Very interesting. Alex Bregman last night, 1 for 5 with a 3-run home run of his own. His first home run of the season.
Atta babe.
For Breggs. Had the run score as well. Big comeback for the Astros last night. I mean, they were getting blitzed, and then they ended up winning it in extra innings. Alex Lang got a little 2 for 1 here with Langer. Was on the bump last night as part of a doubleheader. Inning in the third, shutout. Walked 1, struck out 1. And then today, they're like, hey, you did so well. Go back out there and get yourself a save. So he did. Another inning in the third, shutout. 2 more strikeouts, his second save of the season.
A little shut piece. That a boy.
A little shut piece. Back-to-back shut piece. Paul Skeens, who breaks more of a sweat signing autographs after the game than he does actually pitching to AAA hitters.
Is he any good?
Threw 6 shutout last night, so they're finally starting to extend him. 7 strikeouts for Skeens. His ERA is now 0.39. How about this?
He didn't give up a run last night?
No.
6 innings?
6 innings. Shutout ball. 41 strikeouts so far for Skeens, and he's thrown 89 pitches over 100 miles an hour in AAA. He's good. He's good. That's Tigers in the pros.
I mean, he's Justin Verlander pitching to AAA hitters.
To not even have him in Double-A.
He's prime Justin Verlander.
To not even have him in Double-A.
He's in AAA.
Well, I know, but I mean, Double-A's were so much of the development, and like that's what they say,
Oh, yeah,
and
well,
all
no,
that.
they're
But
we all know what's like. This isn't a secret. We know. Real quick, we're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020. Oh, Friday, y'all. Williamson Eye Center, Friday. Their next open house. Again, coming up this Friday. 2 different sessions. They'll have a breakfast session and then a lunch session. It is totally free, but they do ask that you RSVP so they can plan for food and stuff like that. And someone is going to win a free EVO ICL procedure. That's the implantable contact lens. So breakfast, 7:30 to 9:30. Just pop in. It's not like a formal deal. Lunch, 11 to 1. Get some food, have a few beverages, talk to Dr. Blake, their great staff, learn more about all of the great refractive procedures they offer. They're going to have also some great giveaways. So check them out this Friday. If you've ever wondered about refractive procedures, the Williamson Eye Center, this Friday, their vision correction open house. Please RSVP, williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com. Yeah, so, we're out of time. We all know why. I mean, the Skeens thing is just all about another year of control. We get it, but it's still laughable to see. All right, hour 3 now.
AFR.
Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Last Friday. So I was chatting with Adrian Holly over at Relief Windows, and they have an amazing new feature. Now, you need to set an appointment to go into their facility right there on Airline and Perkins Road. But it's a 3D rendering of your home that will allow you to be able to see what siding would look like on your home. So if you want different color siding or how it would be structured, they can put this rendering of your home into this 3D model. So if you're like me and you're very visual, like just a little sample of a color doesn't really tell you the whole story, they can build a 3D model to show you exactly what it would look like on your home. It's pretty cool. If you're interested, give them a shout, 288-8138, 288-8138, 288-8138, or go to reliefwindows.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Otter have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Otter MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tula at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Mavericks point guard Luka Doncic declared himself ready for tonight's pivotal Game 5 of the first-round NBA playoff series against the Clippers. He did admit, though, his sprained right knee's not good. LA forward Kawhi Leonard's out with knee inflammation. Game 5, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis sidelined for the potential clincher in Game 5 against the Heat tonight. Expected to miss at least several games due to a calf injury, a cause for concern for a Boston team with championship aspirations. First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
When I think about Porzingis being 7'3", being a shot blocker, being able to be that guy that offsets the usage of Al Horford to some degree, he's incredibly pivotal because remember, as long as he's out, you're asking Al Horford to do more. Him and Luke Cornett, okay? And that's not something that the Boston Celtics want to do, which means everyone will have to elevate their game, but they're not considered to be the deepest team in the league.
Major League Baseball suspended Brewers starting pitcher Freddie Peralta 5 games, reliever Abner Uribe 6 games, manager Pat Murphy 2 games, Rays outfielder Jose Siri 2 games for their roles in last night's benches clearing brawl.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomblay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's hump day.
It's hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Catching my breath a little bit. I didn't get enough oxygen in my brain for a second there.
Hump day.
Hey, it's good to be back.
It's hump day.
Did you miss me? I was talking to you.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I'll be back here tomorrow, too.
Hump day.
And then I'm off Friday.
It's hump day.
Yeah.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Going to Jazz Fest.
Hump day.
Give me a break.
It's hump day.
See Foo Fighters.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Dave Grohl.
Hump day.
First time I've seen him since Taylor Hawkins died.
It's hump day.
So looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
If you missed Kyle Hergel last hour, go check it out on demand. Saints undrafted free agent out of Boston College.
Hump day.
Was looking forward to that convo all day.
It's hump day.
I think it delivered. Muse, you agree?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, he was really good.
He's a guy.
Hump day.
Speaking of guys, Mintz was here last hour.
It's hump day.
We did some portal recap.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, we got a ton to do. Let's get going here. Glad you're with us as we start hour number 3. We will get to Pluckers trivia later this hour. I do want to talk about the free agent safety that the Saints drafted today, or excuse me, signed today. We'll get to that in a little bit. Otter locks, ton to do here this hour. Thank you for being here with us as always. Presented by Pluckers on Wednesdays. The Saints drafted Spencer Rattler in round 5. You know that by now. And of the entire draft haul, the pick that has gotten the most conversation has been the Spencer Rattler pick for a lot of obvious reasons. He's a quarterback. He's a guy that's kind of been in the public eye ever since he was the number 1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school. So for a lot of reasons. I want to be very, very, very clear. Because I know there's people that are really optimistic about this pick. There's people that hated it. I saw all the reactions. Very polarizing. I love this pick. I love the pick. I'm not telling you or predicting that Spencer Rattler is going to be an all-pro quarterback. I'm not even predicting Spencer Rattler is going to ever be a starter. That's not the point. The point is that I love the pick in round 5. Look, Dennis Allen even said it after the draft. You know, like, they weren't necessarily targeting a quarterback in this draft.
It wasn't a position that we felt like, man, we have to address this. And we felt like keeping those picks in the back end could be valuable to us, and adding some more depth players potentially to our roster. And so kind of wanted to, hold on to those. And yet, it wasn't easy to just, hang on when you knew that name was kind of sitting there. So, but sometimes the best move is to, let the draft come to you instead of going and trying to make it happen. And that's what we did today.
That's what they did. And by all accounts, there's this sort of unanimous agreement that the Saints getting Spencer Rattler in round 5 was insane value. Field Yates over at ESPN did a piece where he listed the top 5 picks of every round. Round 1 through 7, the 5 best picks in round 1, 5 best picks in round 2, so on. Spencer Rattler was among the 5 best picks that he listed in round 5 for various, very obvious reasons. Y'all, Spencer Rattler, when he was coming out of high school, was the number 1 quarterback in the country in 2019. He goes to Oklahoma. Going into the 2021 season, his 3rd season in college, he was in mock drafts as the way too early mock drafts as the number 1 pick in the draft. Goes to show you how much can change, but stay with me here. That's his 3rd year in college. Before his 3rd year in college starts, he's in way too early mock drafts as the number 1 pick of the draft. During that 2021 season, he loses his starting job to the guy that would eventually go on to be the number 1 pick in this draft, in Caleb Williams. We all know what happened. Spencer Rattler transfers to South Carolina. And Caleb Williams ends up going to Southern Cal, the 2 USCs on different coasts. And their results were very different. Williams won the Heisman. Williams was the number 1 pick in the draft. Rattler was humbled. The thing I saw on Saturday that sold me on this value proposition, you ever watch the draft and you always see guys whenever it's them with their family, right? And there's this wild celebration. They're surrounded by 50 people. They're celebrating, they're high-fiving, hugging, and you should. It's an amazing accomplishment, right? All your lifelong hard work, and you hear your name called in the NFL draft. And people are celebrating. There's balloons, and there's all kind of stuff, right? Everybody's fired up. And you should be. I'm not saying don't be fired up. Did you see the video of Spencer Rattler being picked by the New Orleans Saints? He had gotten the call. He was just watching the television, and he knows his name is about to come up. And he's sitting on a couch, and his mom is sitting right next to him, and he's wearing a cap. And as soon as he hears his name called, he casually puts on a New Orleans Saints hat. He hugs his mom. He gets up. He hugs his family. It's all just about time to go to work. Look at it. Look at his face. His face isn't one. It's not. He's not like bummed, but it's not the raucous, overjoyed thing. And you say, well, he's bummed because he went in round 5. The point is, there's a lot of different ways you can handle that. But this is going to sound very similar to the take I had about Jameis Winston 3 years ago. Was it 4 years now? 4 years ago. When the Saints signed him. And all anybody wanted to talk about were interceptions and crab legs. And the point I made to you then is Jameis is a guy that was so athletically gifted. He was always the first picked at recess. He was the best player on his high school team. He goes to Florida State. He wins a Heisman as a redshirt freshman, wins a national championship, was also on the baseball team, could have gone pro in baseball, was the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, threw for 5,000 yards. He had never been athletically humbled. And then he was. And you can go one of two ways when that happens. And that's not just in athletics, that's in anything in life. When you've been humbled, you go one of two ways. You either resent it or you learn from it and grow from it. And Jameis very clearly, as an adult man who's now a husband and a father, grew from it. The unfortunate thing in New Orleans is you wonder if Devin White hadn't horse collar tackled him and he tore his ACL back in 2020, how much different might the Jameis experience in New Orleans have been? Don't know, we'll never know. But I look at Spencer Rattler's face and I see the same thing. Former number one prospect in the country who had gone to Oklahoma, was supposed to be the guy, was a projected number one draft pick, and his adversity came. And he went to South Carolina. And he even talked in his post-draft press conference about how the adversity that he has faced in his life has shaped him up into this point.
I think it helps me coming into this level, being able to experience a little adversity early on in my college career. I think that helps, because as a quarterback, especially at this level, you're going to experience adversity if you want it or not. So I think having success, having adversity, that helps shape you as a player in person. And, I wouldn't change a thing about nothing throughout college. So I'm ready for the next step. I know I'm prepared.
Wouldn't change a thing. Now, I don't know if I absolutely believe that. Of course, you'd rather win a national championship and a Heisman and all that sort of stuff. But, your path, the road you take to whatever is your path in life, whether it's athletics or everyone can relate to this, right? Wherever you are in life, you can look back at your path and realize why things happened to lead you to where you are. I've heard a lot of people say, well, if he's so good, then why was he drafted in round 5? Why did 31 other teams pass on him? You know the answer to that. We all know the answer to that. That's not the point. Because he had struggles. He had struggles in college. He lost his job. He went to South Carolina, and there were times where he was the only good thing they had in that offense, but he still didn't pop. I mean, we could look at the Clemson game from this past year. He was sub 200 yards passing. He struggled in the Georgia game, but he went off in other games too. So there were highs and there were lows. There was inconsistency, and that's the thing that isn't there. But you know what else is there? The arm talent, the physical ability that made him the number one prospect in the country coming out of high school. So you have tremendous upside there. The other thing, too, to keep in mind, y'all, only so many teams in a draft are going to take a quarterback. And 6 teams that needed a quarterback took that quarterback within the top 12 picks. So after the first 12 picks, you didn't have another quarterback come off the board until Rattler in round 5. For what it's worth, he was the 7th quarterback. Last year, the first 7 quarterbacks, there were 3 1s, a 2, a 3, and then 3 4s. So, there wasn't such a gigantic gap between quarterback picks. That was just sort of the oddity of this draft, with it being so top-heavy with quarterbacks. I know there were people that talked about the high school documentary he did, QB1 Beyond the Lights, and how maybe some teams, reacted negatively to that. My point is, look, if you're going to react negatively to something someone did as a high schooler in 5-6 years ago and can't look at the process they've taken throughout college, then you're negligent on your behalf. And I don't know if that mattered for anything. But ultimately, when it comes down to why I love it, I'm looking at the upside because you have a supremely physically gifted alpha at the most important position in team sports who has been humbled, who very clearly, by his words and by his actions, has something to prove, has a chip on his shoulder. And that can be dangerous when someone with that ability locks in and is right mentally and isn't caught up with all the expectations and being the first-round pick and the money and all the stuff. There's something else that's going to motivate Spencer Rattler right now, which I love. And then I look at just being a 5th-round pick. I went back and looked at every 5th-round pick that the New Orleans Saints have made since the year 2000. They made 23 of them. I would consider they hit on 8 of the 23. That's about a 34% clip. You've had Carl Nicks in the 5th round, and you've had Thomas Morstead in the 5th round. You had Jordan Howden in the 5th round last year, who looks like a pretty good pick so far. You also had Natrell Jamerson and Vinny Sinceri and Matt Tennant and Anomo Ojo and DeMario Presley and Ronald Powell. Y'all, there's been a big pile of junk in round 5 for the New Orleans Saints over the last, since the aughts, since 2000. And all time, quite honestly. A 5th-round pick is about a 30% proposition. So you're going to tell me when we only hit, we meaning the NFL collectively, hits on 30% of your 5th-round picks, and I got a guy who's a super talent, who's motivated, who's an alpha, most important position in sports. I'm getting him in round 5 when it's only a 30% proposition anyway. Okay. That's why I love the pick. I'm not projecting Spencer Rattler to be an all-pro. I'm not saying he's going to be Drew Brees and win a Super Bowl or anything of the sort. What I'm saying is, in round 5, at the most important position in team sports, you get that guy? Yes. And maybe he becomes your Dak, your Cousins, your Purdy. Or maybe he's Gardner Minshew. Or Chase Daniel, a guy that makes a career holding a clipboard. But is it worth the pick? You're darn right it's worth the pick. And the other thing I'll repeat right now that I said leading up to the draft, the New Orleans Saints have been in business for 57 years. And in 57 years, you've drafted a quarterback in round 1 once, Archie Manning. You've never drafted a quarterback in round 2. And you've drafted a quarterback in round 3 once, Garrett Grayson. So in your entire history as a franchise, you've taken a quarterback in the top 3 rounds twice. Hell, the Bears went Trubisky, Fields, now Caleb Williams. All within the last 10 years. If what you're doing ain't working, do something different. You drafted Jake Haener a year ago. You drafted Spencer Rattler this year. My point is, if you ain't going to go heavy at the top of the draft, then go with numbers. Make it a numbers game. Keep picking one every year until you hit. You realize in the history of the New Orleans Saints, this is only the 3rd time ever they have taken a quarterback in consecutive drafts? They did, and are we even going to count Tommy Stevens? Because Tommy Stevens in 2020, Ian Book in 2021, and we know they weren't taking Stevens as a quarterback. They were taking him to play the Taysom role. And then 70, 71, and 72, they drafted a quarterback in each of those 3 years, and the middle one was Archie Manning. This is the 3rd time ever that you've done it. So, yeah, if you're not going to take a quarterback at the top of the draft, play the numbers game. That is why I love picking Spencer Rattler. And maybe you go to camp and he ends up beating out Jake Haener and beating out Nathan Peterman and becomes your backup to Derek Carr. And maybe he develops into a really good player. Maybe he's a career backup. Maybe he completely busts and gets cut in training camp this year. If he does, what have you lost? But if you hit, what have you potentially gained? That is why I love this pick. All right. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, Mother's Day around the corner. Don't screw it up. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. 9 locations in all, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. Hey, remember, you can trade in your wife's current wedding ring for an upgrade. That's something they do at Lee Michaels. I mean, look, I know my life professionally, personally, is dramatically different than whenever I bought Erica's ring. Like, it might be time. We're 12 years in now, almost 12 years in now. It might be time for an upgrade. I could take her ring in and I could get a bigger, nicer diamond. If that's something you want to consider, go see our friends at Lee Michaels. Thrill mom with a gift in the red box this Mother's Day. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, I got a quick break. We just got a ton to do. I know it went long there. My apologies. I do want to talk about the free agent defensive back the Saints signed. We got TV ratings for the draft. We got Rookie of the Year odds. Where are Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. on that list? We got Pluckers Trivia coming up. Otter Locks, ton to do. Stay here. AFR.
AFR.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
You have the ratings in for the NFL draft. First night was awesome. The first night was up 6%. And look, Detroit did it big, and then we had all the intrigue with the quarterbacks, right? How it was going to go. Then when the Michael Penix pick came in, that was shocking for a lot of people. So Thursday was huge. Thursday was up 6%. The rest of the weekend, though, fell flat. Friday was the smallest since 2012, and then Saturday was down 14.5%. I don't know that I have any real explanation for that. My guess is that it probably, if I just had a guess, just do me a favor, look up real quick, what was the Friday night NBA playoff? What NBA playoff games were on Friday night opposite the draft? Go look at the NBA playoff schedule. That would be my only guess, is if sports fans collectively, their attention was shifted to something else that was nationally appealing, like if it was LeBron or something like that.
Yeah, no LeBron. You had the Bucks minus Giannis as well, actually, that game, facing the Pacers. The Clippers and the Mavericks, and then the Timberwolves and the Suns. You had KD?
That's surprising. No, I wouldn't think. Yeah. I wouldn't think any of those would pull. But anyway, that's the only thing I could think of. And then Saturday, there was NBA playoffs that started at noon Central. 1 Eastern. I think that was the Celtics, if I'm not mistaken, was the early game.
No, it wasn't the early game. It was one of the night games. The early game was Thunder Pelicans, actually. That was 2:30.
When am I thinking Sunday was the 1 o'clock game? Either way, whatever. Anyway, point being that that's the only thing I could think that would pull an audience from, unless we're all just collectively sick of watching days 2 and 3. A 14% drop is a significant drop on day 3, but really what matters is day 1. I mean, that's the big one that everybody watches. So, in any event, the NFL draft continues to soar, at least in the opening round. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. The Saints did add a free agent. If I were going to say there was one surprise coming out of the draft, and honestly, free agency that preceded the draft, it's that the Saints didn't add help at safety. And now, today, the Saints have added defensive back Will Harris on a 1-year deal, and this kind of connects the dots. So a little bit of a Cliff's Notes here on Harris. Harris is 28 years old. He's a former third-round pick of the Lions back in 2019. He played his first 5 seasons in Detroit. He's played at both safety and corner. His most productive year was 2 years ago in 2021 when he started 17 times. But in his career, he's played in 81 games and started 40 times. So you have a young veteran, again, 28 years old, who's been in the league, who's started 40 times, played in 81 games, can play both corner and safety, and maybe most importantly, played in roughly 65% of Detroit's special team snaps this past year. So you have a defensive back that's versatile that can also play special teams. So whenever the Saints decided to cut Marcus May, I have no problem with cutting Marcus May. I think we all roundly agree on that. They signed May to a 3-year, $22.5 million deal, and in 2 years, Marcus May played in 17 games. So he basically missed an entire season in New Orleans. And last year, they brought in Jonathan Abram from the Raiders and drafted Jordan Howden from Minnesota. And with May out, those two guys played really well. Now remember, Jonathan Abram is a former first-round pick. You probably remember him when he played at Mississippi State. He was a former first-round pick. He's 27 years old, so he's still a young veteran. And last year started 3 games for you in the absence of Marcus May. Howden was a 5th-round pick. He's going to turn 24 in about a week or so. And he played in 16 games last year and started 7 times. So between Abram and Howden, they started all the games that May missed last year. So if you're the Saints, you go, all right, Marcus May, goodbye. We really like Jonathan Abram and Jordan Howden and their upside. Great. I love that. I love it. You hit on a free agent last year and a 5th-round draft pick. Love it. And you've got Tyrann Mathieu, who's getting up in age, but you're still short a number. Like, all 3 of those guys were on the team last year with Marcus May. Well, Marcus May is gone. You're down a number. You're down a body. And so you either have to sign a free agent safety or draft another body there, and they hadn't done it up to this point. So adding Will Harris makes a lot of sense. Maybe Will Harris comes in and competes with Howden and with Abram to see who's going to win a starting job. Or maybe he makes the team as, like, even if he doesn't win the starting job, you're talking about a guy that is exactly what you want in a defensive back, and it's versatility. Because not only has he played safety, he can also play corner. Remember, you got 53 roster spots, and on a game day, everyone that's active plays. The only player on the game day roster that may not play is your backup quarterback. And a lot of times the backup quarterback is a holder. So generally, everybody that's active plays. So you're going to play special teams, and if someone gets hurt, you're filling in. Maybe at corner, maybe at safety. So you want a versatile guy like that. So even if he doesn't win the starting job, because he can do so much, that makes him more appealing. And it's why I love fall camp or training camp battles. I know the roster battles bores a lot of people. It's like, wake me up when the season gets here. I get it, and I don't blame you for that. But you see this all the time in the NFL. Why it is so important, roster spots 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Why those spots matter so much? Because look at the Marcus May situation. That's a case in point. This is a guy you paid a ton of money to, and because of a variety of things, injury, suspension, he essentially misses an entire season. And last year, the free agent you signed and the 5th-round pick that you brought were able to fill in, and now you feel like you're good because you had those camp battles and you found the guys you like. It's similar in, like, look at Rashid Shaheed. Undrafted free agent, comes to camp. You realize, man, this guy's got incredible speed, game-breaking ability. He wins a roster spot. Now look at how good you feel about it. Like, you would have never thought that with this Division II guy coming as an undrafted free agent. That's why it's always fascinating to look at those battles. So I think that's going to be a fun camp battle to watch. Safety for the New Orleans Saints to see, do Jonathan Abram, Jordan Howden, like, did they continue to hold that down along with Tyron? Does someone like Will Harris maybe win a starting job over the other guys? Or maybe does someone come off the radar that we're not even expecting right now? But the adding Will Harris connects the dots, because best case, he's awesome and wins a starting job. You know, most likely case is he makes the team and he's a versatile piece that also plays for special teams on you, plays on special teams for you. And then, like, worst case is he gets cut. But if he gets cut, it's because you had someone that outplayed him in camp. So one worth keeping an eye on. And I know we're all going to be watching the offensive line in camp. And now, obviously, quarterback as well, to see if Spencer Rattler wins the backup job. But as a sneaky, interesting camp battle, what happens at safety is fascinating because Tyron keeps getting older. You've got a couple of young options here and some young veterans as well to see how that's all going to work. So safety is one I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on when training camp rolls around. Okay, y'all. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. If you need to buy tires, buy the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. That's at Shaw Bills. And remember, when you go into Shaw Bills, ask about the Shaw Bills credit card. Remember, the first time you use the Shaw Bills credit card, $50 off any purchase. So, I mean, essentially, for an oil change, an oil change is free. They got to charge like $1 on the card, but if you want to get your oil change at Shaw Bills, use the Shaw Bills credit card. It's basically a free oil change. It's Shaw Bills. Locations all over South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you. And remember, they'll sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible, but because they treat you like family, it's why you'll keep coming back year after year after year. It's Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, we got, Muse. We got to get to Pluckers Trivia. We'll do that when we come back. And also, I want to get to Rookie of the Year odds. Pluckers Trivia today. My guy Steve Levy sent me the questions. It is Star Wars trivia. Now, as I recall, the last time we did this, did you call T-Bob or Chuck P?
I believe it was Chuck P.
I think we called T-Bob.
He didn't answer.
No, he did. And he helped you, but then Chuck P came along and we got him really quickly. Didn't that's what happened? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
If you want to get if you want to maybe phone a friend, if you want to see if Tons of Fun is available to be your lifeline, you can try to get him here.
All right. Well, look. So I did that with Taylor Swift, and I knew all of them.
Yeah, because you're a giant Swiftie.
And we called E-Rock, but I ended up knowing them all.
Well, you're a giant Swiftie.
I'm not. They were just really easy questions.
Just like you're a big anime guy.
I'm not. That was multiple choice and
you got them all right. You don't ever get the sports ones right. Maybe you're in the wrong line of work,
That's
Muse.
not true.
It is true. Paul, is that true? Isn't that true?
Very true.
That's very true. How'd you do last week?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I actually really don't remember.
It was a draft
I think
round.
it was 2-1. It was 2-1.
Yeah, one of them, the answer was about New Orleans, which, of course.
Lay up.
And the tough, like the only one that would have been challenging was the one about the Chicago Bears from back in 1947, the last time they had the number one pick.
Yeah, that was really difficult.
And,
got that one wrong.
And you missed that, so you stink.
At 2-1. It's good stuff.
Yeah, what city has New Orleans ever hosted the draft? Yeah, way to go, Muse. I mean, all the hippies hanging out at Jazz Fest know the answer to that.
Well, you'll be there on Friday. Why don't you ask some of them?
I don't need to. I know the answer.
I don't know.
No, I know the answer. New Orleans has never hosted the draft.
I know. Why don't you see if they know the answer? You said they did.
No, they don't know that. But they do know. They don't care about the NFL. They do know New Orleans has never hosted the draft. That's a certainty. It's AFR. We're going to go.
AFR.
Hey, AFR is brought to you by Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com. You know, one of the things I think, I was over at Glow's office last week talking to Jareth and Hillary, and when they said this to me, it really just resonated. Why this makes so much sense. Why companies need Glow resources. When you go to hire somebody, you maybe interview a handful of potential and prospective applicants, right? And maybe you hire a bunch, and over the course of a year, you maybe even do dozens of interviews. At Glow Resources, they interview 50 prospective employees every day. Over the course of the year, they do more than 15,000 interviews. So they know the questions to ask to make sure that all of the details through that screening process are checked so you don't run into issues. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online. GLO, glowresources.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always...
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we'll get to Otter Locks here shortly. We got to do Plucker's Trivia as well. Rookie of the Year odds are posted for the NFL. Caleb Williams, your betting favorite at plus 200. Not a bad play. Let's see. He would be the first #1 overall pick to win it since Kyler Murray in 2019 if he does. Marvin Harrison Jr., the next best odds, then Jaden, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, a distant plus 6,000. After Penix is, after Nix is Malik, then Xavier Worthy, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, A.D. Mitchell. So a lot of receivers after that as well. Interestingly, so C.J. Stroud won it last year. And it is really not, it's really pretty uncommon to see a string of quarterbacks win this award. Stroud won it last year. Before that, the last time a quarterback won it was Justin Herbert in 2020. He and Kyler Murray went back-to-back. Before that, Dak back in 2016. Went all the way back to 2013. You've only had 4 quarterbacks win Offensive Rookie of the Year since 2013. So, honestly, I look at it and I go, Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Saquon, Alvin Kamara, Gurley, Odell, Eddie Lacy. I don't know that there's a running back that I would put money on. But, boy, if you could find a receiver in a good offense, that's probably where I would lean. I mean, I think Marvin Harrison is probably the best bet in that offense where they're basically looking for a new DeAndre Hopkins. They're just going to throw it up to him. He's going to go get a bajillion catches and yards and stuff like that. And I don't think the Bears are going to be any good. So, anyway, Muse, who do you think wins?
I'm going to take Jaden Daniels. I like the yeah, sure. I mean, I won't shy away from that, but I actually have a reason. Obviously, the arm talent's one thing, but I also like his ability as the dual threat with his legs. I think he can put up a lot of yards, total yards from scrimmage.
He needs more weapons. I don't think that offense is going to be very good this year. Defense will be good, though. Better than they were last year, which was atrocious. Paulie? You can't pick 17 guys, Paulie.
I'll pick one.
Okay.
I hate to do it, but I'm going to go chalk. I'm going to go Caleb Williams. I don't think any of the top wide receivers are in the best offense. And I do think the Bears are going to stink, but I think Caleb Williams will have enough stats to win this award.
But that's always the thing, right? Like when Herbert won it, we were all like, it's got to be Justin Jefferson. Do it, you cowards. Remember, that was our whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
and it should have been.
And it should have been Justin Jefferson, but they gave it to the quarterback. So I agree in the sense that they may lean quarterback, but generally, if you have a rookie starting on a team that was not very good, they're probably still not going to be very good. So if they stink, let's say they're a 6-win team, you going to give rookie there to the quarterback of a 6-win team? I don't know if I buy that. All right, I'm on record. I like Marvin Harrison to win it. I just think Malik with Danny Dimes throwing him the ball, that's just not going to go great.
I know, and I want it to be Malik. I really do.
I know. I just got an email from Heather, who's the VP of marketing over at Evermore, and I literally just got this email in my inbox. She said, Matt, checking in. We're hearing from people all the time. They're hearing you mention Evermore. It's very exciting. And she said, I want to make certain you're getting water. If not, arrange a product drop-off when you need it. I want to be very clear. If they want to send me water, that's totally cool. But I want to be very, very honest. I never endorse a product that I don't use or people that I don't use and trust their service. My family, we have converted. We buy Evermore now. Like when I go to the store, generally, I buy the big 64-ounce bottles. You can get the 64-ounce bottles in a 4-pack, and then just use that to pour into a cup when you're having a meal or if you need it for a smoothie or whatever you're making at your house. Like, I have just made that change. You were talking about an alkaline source if you're trying to get your body into an alkaline state. Evermore, we're talking about this is natural artesian water. There's one other brand that is similar in respect that everybody knows. And if you go read the labels, they're essentially the same thing. This one is bottled in Covington. It's a great Louisiana product. We're talking about a naturally occurring spring, deep within the surface of the earth. They pipe down into it. They pull the water out, run it through their facility and into the bottle, and it never touches air until you uncap it. You want a healthier option, a better form of hydration. Water is not just water, y'all. You've got to learn more about Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com. Buy it online, Evermore.com, or at great local retailers. Evermore. Okay, let's go quickly here. Muse, let's hit some trivia. Go.
It's time for Plucker's Trivia. How many will Musso get wrong today? Plucker's Trivia. Every Wednesday night, 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson.
All right, Muse. This one was one of the ones last time we did Star Wars Trivia. So I'm curious if you remember it.
Probably not, but let's see.
Cloud City is located on what gas giant planet?
Yeah, I don't remember it. I remember the question. I don't remember the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think our that was one T-Bob had, and he didn't get it either. I don't know.
Yes, he did.
I think Chuck got that one.
T-Bob got it.
Oh,
T-Bob
did
got
he?
them all. It just took him longer to process.
Oh,
Chuck got him before I even finished the question.
Yeah.
All right, just hurry up and give yourself the buzzer. It's Bespin is what we were looking for. Muse, how many years after The Empire Strikes Back does Return of the Jedi take place?
5.
No. It was 1 year. 1 year later. 1 year later. And to wear the collar, what is the name of Darth Sidious's apprentice who mortally wounds Qui-Gon Jinn?
I don't. Darth Vader. I don't know.
No. We were looking for Darth Maul. He was the red-faced guy with the little horns on
yeah.
it.
I know.
That's
Now
him.
that you say that, I know who he
That's
is.
him.
I know what it looks like. At
That's
least.
him. Yeah. So Muse 0 for 3. Muse doesn't know anything about Star Wars. He does know anime and Taylor Swift. However, those are his sweet spots. It's after further review presented by Pluckers Trivia tonight. Bluebonnet and Nicholson. 7:30 Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Star Wars trivia. So May the 4th be with you. I guess is why they're doing Star Wars trivia. So go nerd out and go win you some Pluckers gift cards, y'all. Okay. Final break. Otter Lock's next. Stay here.
AFR.
Brought to you by River Cities 1 hour air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks all over town. The ones with the giant clock on the side, you can't miss them. You want to know why so many of your friends and neighbors trust River Cities 1 hour air? Same reason that I do. Listen, they're so upfront and transparent with everything, from pricing to what's wrong with your system, what recommendations they have, a good, better, and best option for you. They're never going to pressure you into any kind of sale. They're going to inform you and let you make the best decision about your unit. It's River Cities 1 hour air. Something that always, always, always floors me is the number of people who call River Cities 1 hour air out to do maintenance or to do a repair or hopefully not have to reinstall a unit that chose to hire someone else for their install after getting a quote from River Cities 1 hour air. There was one terrible situation where a family, to save about $3,000, hired another company and ended up spending $40,000 in repairs and ultimately replacing their unit. Get it right the first time. It's River Cities 1 hour air. 752-0001.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
TRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Do we have Jimmy or no? Okay, we do have Jimmy. Okay, let's do Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable of an incomprehensible, the Ottfather himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Hey, man. How was your trip?
Really good, man. Quick trip, but always good to go to the city and, see the tall buildings. I'll tell you this much, Otter. I've been to New York 3 times since December now.
Uh-huh.
And the whole city that never sleeps moniker is teetotal BS. Like, I had a bartender close me out. I had a beer. Closed me out at 11 and was like, we're done. See you. I'm like, what? It's 11. I'm in New York for one night. It's 11. My body clock, it's like 10 o'clock, right? I'm like, I'm going out. I got nothing. Eric and Drew are home. I'm by myself. I'm in New York going out. Now everything's shutting down at 11 o'clock. City that never sleeps my behind.
It's been a long time since they wrote that song.
So. I tell you what, man. I went into a CVS or whatever just to buy a beer. I guess I'll just buy a beer and go sit in my hotel room and watch SportsCenter or something like that. And I told that to the guy working at CVS, and he was like, "Hey, man, I can't let you talk about a city that way." I was like, "City's great, but everything's closed. Y'all are full of crap." I was like, "Come hang out, come to New Orleans and tell me about city that never sleeps."
Oh man, not the only thing that's overrated in that city, man. They were talking about, look at all the Knicks legends here tonight. Between all the legends, they ain't got one ring between them. So,
yeah,
but anyway,
what's it been? 50, 57? How many years has it been? Almost 60 years?
51, yeah.
51 years.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we looking at tonight, Otter?
Lucci's chimed in.
Yes!
He saved us from going 0 for last night, so he's going with the LA Kings tonight. Randy McKay was on the show today and talked about how the Kings have actually outplayed the Oilers despite being down 3-1 in the series. So got them on the road catching plus money at Edmonton. Me and Musso teaming up tonight. Cubbies and the Red Sox with the pitchers. A couple of hot pitchers, man. Cutter Crawford and the Japanese pitcher for the Cubs. So both have been outstanding. I think Crawford is second in the American League in ERA. This kid's really good, too. And, so there we go. Be interesting if the Red Sox actually spent a little money on their lineup this year.
Are we parlaying Cubs and Red Sox?
No. Those are separate plays.
Okay.
Single plays.
All right. Cubs minus 122 and the Sox looking at minus 155.
And both dogs in the NBA.
All right. Let's see. Boop. So we're looking at we're taking Miami plus 14.
Yep.
All right, Miami plus 14 and the Clippers plus 3.
Yeah.
All right, Otter.
Yeah, Musso did not do well when you were gone. So
what do you mean?
He killed the mojo. I'm blaming on him. You know, when you fail, when you fail, you get to blame somebody.
I mean, there's a 500 day in there, but all right.
Isn't that the way that
1 minute remaining?
The way it goes, I mean, not my fault. Huh?
That's just the way it is. Didn't Bruce Hornsby say that?
Yes. We're going through all kinds of stuff. This is a long time since he wrote that one.
Well, how about Tupac? That's a good one too. We'll go with Tupac.
Yes.
All right, Otter, where are you tomorrow, man?
We are downtown
cool.
for Dos de Mayo. We're at Jolie Pearl in Town Square Pizza.
Joe's DeMaio. Have a great show. Good luck tonight. Thank
All right,
you.
man. Good luck.
All right. That is Jimmy Ott. Kings on the money line. The Los Angeles Kings hockey. Cubs, Red Sox, Heat, and Clippers. Those are your plays tonight. All right. That's going to do it for us. Hey, remember, trivia night over at Pluckers. Both locations, 7:30 Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock Nicholson. Lots of good stuff. You missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Muse, Paulie, appreciate you. Have a great night. Looking forward to a Thursday show, being back in the saddle tomorrow. Have a great night. See you tomorrow 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, get to remind you about Pure Restoration, pure-restoration.com, pure-restoration.com. Got mold? Pure Restoration, get rid of it. Think you might have mold? Don't know if you have mold. You know, you may have mold in your walls and just not know it. There you are, just inhaling that, ingesting that constantly, hazardous to your health. You want to get rid of mold in your home, your office, whatever commercial building? Pure Restoration can do it. They come in with their patented, non-toxic, dry fog. Go to if you want to learn, you hear me say that. If you want to learn about the difference between the dry fog and the wet fog, I mean, aside from the obvious, you'll understand why it's more effective and how it's safer and easier and all that sort of stuff. It's more cost effective as well, and it's efficient. Be in and out of half a day, maybe, you're back in. They'll spray their fog because it's a fog, gets into every nook and cranny, kills all of the mold, the sporing, all the harmful pathogens. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in free and clear. It's Pure Restoration. Pure-restoration.com. Pure-restoration.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647